is the story about a grubby little guy who doesn't know it yet, but he's in for a big change.
Grub was happy doing his grub things, eating leaves and doing other grub things. He'd eat his leaves all day and have grubby things to say. When he was asked to comment on what might be one day,
he said, I'll keep doing things my grub way. It's my way from day to day. What may be one day. Till then I'll stick to my grubby way.
Grub was happy doing his grub things, eating leaves and doing other grub things. Grub was happy doing his grub things, eating leaves and doing other grub things. Grub went on with the way that took him day to day, thinking things that made him say, what if things worked another way?
He said, I've been doing things my grub way. It's the same old stuff day to day. Perhaps there is another way, so I can change my grubby way.
Grub was happy doing his grub things, eating leaves and doing other grub things. Grub was happy doing his grub things, eating leaves and doing other grub things. And Grub went on, he changed his ways. Woke one day and Grub felt strange. Wrapped himself up and slept for days. Woke up again and he was amazed.
I was happy to do my bit, fit myself into where I fit. Never knew how free I could be, couldn't tell I could be me. I settled in and I did my thing. Never knew I was gonna, never knew I was gonna grow wings, living my life day to day. Now everyone can hear me say,
Grub was happy that he tried new things, so very happy he loved his wings. Recapping tonight's top stories. Grub was happy that he tried new things, so very happy he loved his wings. Back to you in the studio.
G'day, you mob. What's going on? Hello, everybody. Lots of chat. Yes. The first, again, back in your winning form. Yes, it's good to see. 503. Shanna, how are you? Shanna, na. Paddy's not making sense as usual. BJ, I guess BJ's already gone based on that comment. Too much value in your educational comments, Paddy, to ban you from the channel. So, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. 3G, how's it going? Who else am I missing here? Laughs and jokes amongst the people. It's all good. J-Rock, how are you, Jay? Welcome back, bro. Rico. Lappers or slappers? Is that where the division is? Did I type that into my own one? I thought I was typing that comment into Bentley's chat, talking about how overweight people might feel crap a little bit longer after their vaccinations, and that might be my excuse as well. Rico had a week of shots after his first crud. It's interesting. Zen Ginger, hello there. Welcome. Always good to have you in the his. Mr. Wendell. Yeah, first one. My second shot, I believe, is not till October 22 or something. I go for the second one. It was quite fortuitous, I guess. Most people are struggling to get bookings to go and get their vaccine down here, which is one of the problems with our system. I had to take my parents to get their second shot the other day, and the nurse just offered me one while I was there. So I said, why not? Got nothing against it, really. I'm very neutral. There's just too much shit going on both sides, too many arguments either way. It's just much easier to ignore all the nonsense and just think your own thoughts and do your own thing, not give other people crap for their decisions and choices. Everyone has their own life to lead, people. It's not our place to say, you're wrong. People can work that out for themselves. G'day, Xanadu. Good to see you. Oh no. Joel G, g'day mate. Mississippi Hippie, hello, welcome back. Mob of one. Geek Boy, hello there. A bit throaty. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. What are we? Tuesday night, stateside. Wednesday, middle of day, Australia side. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to put that discussion on hold. But yeah, speaking of a mob of one, let's increase the number of the mob by another one. G'day, Chewy, Cody. How are you, fellas? I like red plants. Hello, red plants. And hello, Scungy. You're muted, love.
Hi.
Well, I kept the applause going just in case you noticed yourself that you were muted.
Oh, looking at all the bits. Well, I can hear myself on your thing. Now I've stopped. Phew.
Very good. How are you today?
Yeah, all right. All right.
Just all right. Well, that's all right then, isn't it?
Suppose so. Will have to be.
Yeah. Susie Q, how are you, love? Long time no see. What's been going on? By the looks of it, you're being a little bit artistic.
Well, I decided to put colour on that guy. I don't know yet how I feel about it, but it's a shame you can't see them properly.
Yeah, well, yeah, even compared to earlier before we were on mic, your resolution and stuff has gone really poor. Do you have a setting where you can up the resolution of your camera, because it does look very pixelated and grainy?
I have a look, but I haven't changed it since where it last was.
Yeah, right. Might just be the lack of light. The electronic equipments can't find the edges properly.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what you get when you rely so heavily on the technologies, isn't it?
Suppose.
Yeah, but it's very nice picture. I like that dude a lot already.
Do you? But do you like his color, that he's got colours on him?
Yeah.
Kind of sad.
I don't think I think that when you add color to pictures, I've not seen it ruin a picture yet. I guess
It's
they
so
all
hard
seem to
because
be quite lovely and good.
I like them so much when they're just black and white, but sometimes I've got the urge to color them.
Yes, I've been quite enjoying the camera on this new computer, or newish now. I suppose it's about a month old. Pardon me. Certainly much better, even though it's still the same resolution that I used to broadcast at. Certainly a much better lens or something in this camera, because I look almost natural, like I do in the flesh. Almost. Except for in the flesh, I don't have a waterfall coming out of my ear. Not very often, anyway. That's a seldom ear cascade, occasionally. Well, that was an interesting little waterfall wormhole. Is it a wormhole that can only do a sentence and a half?
It's like a depression.
G'day, Blake. How are you, bro? What were you going to say?
I was going to ask if you've had those ear syringes where
The what?
they make a waterfall come out of your ear.
No, I'm fairly good and reliable with my ear cleaning and stuff, and I've never even though they say you shouldn't poke those Q-tips or cotton buds into your ears, I do it almost on a daily basis, and I've never had any ear infections or.
I don't know that keeping that
impacted wax.
that outer bit is like, yeah, or it can make it get squashed in there, but the needing to get it syringed isn't.
Yeah, well, that's stuff
if
from
they were
in behind the eardrum, isn't it? Yeah.
Or there are other problems that you can get in your ear that you need to get it flushed through.
Yes, but yeah, like I said, I've never had an ear infection or anything like that in my life, so thankfully I've never been subjected to it. I have, however, many times with my deep diving with the cotton swab into my ear, I have torn or scratched my eardrum on multiple occasions. I get in that deep occasionally. Generally, it's when I'm chasing those really difficult to shake out water drops and stuff, and I try and go in really slow and give it a twist to work around the angles. And yeah, sometimes it gets a little bit close, and that impact with the eardrum, goodness me, that's there must be some sensory nerves there other than just hearing bits, because crikey, that stings when you whack onto your eardrum, especially when you make it bleed.
Have you had a perforated one?
Maybe, never diagnosed, but potentially I've perforated my own eardrum by scratching it with cotton buds. But isn't perforated when it's subject to a massive pressure difference, and then it sort of lacerates a bit?
Well,
or
it just
something?
means that it's broken,
Right.
some sort of holage in it. But I have a couple of times, but I had one. I have no idea how it happened, and I could just block my nose and go, and my ear could blow air out of it.
Yeah, it's interesting the way the human head works. I like those people that can snort milk up their nose and then make it come out their tear ducts.
That sounds pretty fun.
There's a party trick I would like to play.
I don't have that skill.
Yeah, apparently apparently ear candling shouldn't be done. I've kind of always had that impression that it's a bit of a dodgy practice, and then I think it might have been the Stuff You Should Know podcast. I think they did a little bit on ear candling and absolutely trashed it and said that there's absolutely no medical support for it being of any benefit. So yeah, they sort of backed me up a bit there.
I think it definitely can be dangerous, and I don't know. I remember like back in long ago times where it was like pushed as that it would clean out the ear, but actually the stuff that builds up in it is just its own like waxy stuff. It's not actually drawing it out of your ear.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like being pushed later after that as it's just a relaxing experience to have.
Yeah.
To do
until you're that relaxed that you fall asleep with the thing in your ear and burn your house down, because apparently there's quite a few fires on record that have been attributed to the use of ear candling.
There you go. And yeah, the first time we were in high school and one of my friends had a really bad ear infection and we were trying to find all things to help her. And I remember she was so sick, and we all set up this thing and we did ear candling for her. But it didn't help, but it didn't hurt her either.
Yeah,
it might have helped that she had, a group of loving friends.
Yeah.
Doctoring her.
The medicinal part, the love and the company and the relax. I don't know what neti pots are, Shanna.
They're pretty good. It's basically, you can just make something yourself, but the idea is it's like a little pot and you just pour it in your nostril and it cleans your sinuses and pours out the other side. And it's actually really fun because it just pours out. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And
you've done them in our time together, haven't you? Is that where I'm familiar with that process from, watching you do it or knowing that you've done it?
Maybe. I do, but the problem with the neti pot is that it comes through this part of your sinuses, and my fucked sinuses are like my eustachian tubes and stuff, so it doesn't actually flush out that part of my sinus that I need to get flushed out. But it's still a really good clearing thing to do.
Yeah, right. G'day, Vinoxky. How are you? Welcome. Ear douche. Is the ear douche? No, micro
like
suction.
The ear syringe.
Well, I'm assuming that Joel G's micro suction might be the ear syringe from behind the eardrum. But yeah, I think Paddy's ear douche is probably just like
but
S's
the ear syringe is what they do at the doctor, and they just get a big thing of water and they squirt it into your ear, and then it comes back out again. That's the ear syringe. It's not got a like suction component to it.
It doesn't. I thought all syringes had a suction component.
Well, obviously it sucks up the water and it just squirts it into your ear. You're not sucking anything out of the ear when you get ear syringed at the doctor. That particular one that I call an ear syringe and have from the doctor, that's what they've called it to me.
Right. So they don't actually suck this shit back out. They just let gravity do the work and all the muck fall out. Is that the concept?
Pretty much, or it gets forced out because you've only got a limited amount of space, and so they and whoosh.
Yeah, gotcha. Right.
It's pretty interesting experience, but I had the doctor thought I had shingles in my ear, so my one ear was
in your ear.
Yeah, I'm in so much pain. It's so bad.
Joel J. The first time he went, they pulled a chunk of wax out felt amazing coming out. The woman was saying, oh my God, she did it.
That's
pretty
always
funny.
a nice thing to hear when you're having some sort of procedure done.
Yeah, might have made her day, Joel G. Might have made her career. But yeah, I can only imagine that once you've had some shit that's been clogging your hearing pulled out, your hearing's going to be super improved. Oh yeah, good idea, Dr. Pimple Popper. Your syringing must be good. I like the unblocking the salivary glands ones. They're always good, but I don't think Dr. Pimple Popper does that. But yeah, hearing Joel G say that about his plug of wax coming out made me think of a video that I saw on Your Mum's House last week. I can't remember what the dude's called. He's a TikToker and he's something about boogers. And he blew this amazing big chunk of snot out of his nose that had both Tom and Christina absolutely horrified and grossed out, and I was doing a bit of that as well. It was so gross and so massive, this thing that came out of his nose, and it was almost like you could just smell it or something. It just had a deeply visceral effect. G'day, GRB. How are you, mate?
I have to watch that then.
Yeah, I'll have to try and find it up. I probably should have prepped it because I'd love for everyone else to be as grossed out as I was. But, you know, that's one of the main reasons you watch Your Mum's House, for a little bit of grossing out. And that, I mean, I've done a few of their pay-per-view shows and been grossed out pretty massively, but the snot one might have been the most grossed out I've been.
That is saying something.
Yeah. I mean, I've been grossed out by some things in my time, but I wouldn't expect that snot would be one of my main foes. Or hopefully provides good zen. What's beeping?
Is it at my house? It might be a drone.
Oh.
It did just beep as it took off, and now I don't know if you can hear it whirring.
Yeah, I did. But that's all good, as long as we know what it is. And let's do that, increasing the mob by 1 again. Now, why am I the only one that looks crisp? Oh no, you've come crisp now. When you first came in, you were like really blurry and.
Don't worry about my crispiness, bro. It's gonna come shining through in no time.
Settle back in. How's it going?
What's up, my lovely Aussies? What are you doing?
You know, sitting in front of computers, talking to people. Scungy's doing a bit of that.
My best good friends who I never get to commute over to bring hot tea.
Hey, you know what they say, and Ian, the James Bond dude, he said it. Never say never again.
Never say
Funny.
never.
Jesus.
Again. Hey, do you guys do tea and crumpets? Do you guys First of all, what the hell is a crumpet? You know?
I can never really define it. It's a very interesting pastry. Yeah, it's kind of like a pancake, but it's got a slightly different flavor, and it's full of holes on the top.
Oh, right.
It's like it doesn't
I've had-
get flipped. It's like just one way and all the.
Yeah, it's just one baked, and then like the sourdough bubbles pop when it's
Something like that, yeah.
The
And
CO2,
then
the CO2, CO2 bubbles.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
them. And you pop it in the toaster.
Here's the problem. I'm realizing via your description, I know what a crumpet is, and I've had them before.
Are they like sold under a different name over there or something?
No, I'm just an idiot.
Oh, okay. That's a much simpler explanation.
Yeah, but would you ever tea and crumpets? Is that something that you would even would you do?
I wouldn't, because the only way I enjoy my crumpets is with lashings of butter and lashings of golden syrup. And once you've had lashings of golden syrup coat the internals of your mouth, not many foods taste, or drinks for that matter, taste how they should for a little while afterwards, because
Right.
it's kind of like a sweet molasses. No, molasses is still sweet, isn't it?
It makes sense.
Go Scungy, what did you say?
I would, because I wouldn't, because it's not something I really would eat, but I would put tea and crumpets together. But I like them with heaps of butter and like a tiny drop of honey, which is the tiniest little bit, because otherwise it's too sweet. But I reckon you can drink tea with pretty much anything that's kind of a baked thing, and the tea goes well. And I feel like it aids in like the breaking it up in your tummy. That warm liquid is a good combo.
Give it a dip and a dunk.
Do you
Do you dunk it?
That
No.
sounds
Do you
just hideous to me.
Do you go? Well, I mean, you could dunk. You know, I mean, it's a question. It's more like, do you?
You could. No, but I would dunk like biscuits. I like,
but a
but
biscuit's
not a
a
crumpet.
cookie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's the issue. Like, if you said you would dip a biscuit in the States, you'd get something completely different than a cookie.
Well, biscuit's like a dinner roll or something, isn't it?
No, kind of.
Or a dumpling, maybe.
It's like a dumpling is different. It's like I mean, it's a baked. You know, it's heavy on the flour. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think like how you would describe like an American biscuit. It's savory, but you put a lot of butter and honey on it if you want, and it's still good. Yeah, it's hard to.
Yeah, GRB raises a good point that you put your viscous liquid onto the top of a crumpet, and it seeps through the bottom. So
Right.
the way I like to do my crumpets with my golden syrup, which is a cane sugar product, Shanna, just for your information. I like to just put it in the middle and leave my edges dry.
For grasping.
So, well, not only that, but at the end, when you've got this plate covered with molten butter and golden syrup, you use your dried bits to, sop all your remains up.
Well, that's why I think you only need a tiny bit of sweetness, because most of the crumpet is air.
Right.
And so if you put a lot of sweet toppings on it, it's just too sweet.
I like an English muffin though. Do you have English muffins there?
Yeah. I used to like making little mini pizzas on your English muffin. So you put like a tomato paste and a few little toppings and cheese on it, and you cook it like a little mini pizza.
Yeah,
and because they've got
English muffin.
Yeah, because they've got a really good texture to them. You give them a little quick toast first, cut it in half, toast it a little bit, and make mini pizzas. It's really yum.
I don't like whatever the crap is they dust them with.
The cornmeal.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that adds a flavor that I don't need in a muffin. But yeah, speaking of crumpets and my need to only
What were you talking about earlier? You were talking about something about boogers or something. What happened?
Oh yeah. That's why it's been so easy to segue into crumpets, because they're basically the same thing.
Boogers and crumpets, same deal. Got it.
Very, 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 like 6 degrees of separation. Probably we don't have to use the whole 6.
It just Kevin. It just goes crumpet, Kevin, boogers, right?
There we go.
Yeah.
I like that. It's, you could almost do as, what do they call it, a Venn diagram of that. But yeah, speaking of my my only, like I will only eat crumpets with golden syrup. I can still remember back to my childhood, and we were visiting an uncle of mine in Sydney, and in my, maybe 9-10-year-old mind at the time, I just assumed if you've got crumpets in your house, you've got golden syrup in your house as well. So we were having crumpets, and there was no honey, no golden syrup, and they tried to give me Vegemite on crumpets.
Oh,
And that was a traumatic experience for me. I still remember it to this day, being forced to eat Vegemite on a crumpet instead of my delightful golden syrup.
that's a no joy right there.
Yeah. Clearly it was a deep impact as well, because I still think about it to this day.
What's another gross Australian food? Koala, probably.
Yeah, I'd say they probably
Probably
wouldn't
would
taste
be.
very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
It would
taste like
a-
they probably
venomous.
taste like chicken and eucalyptus. Like
yeah.
ugh. Like all weird.
Yeah. That
What's
eucalyptus
what's
flavor.
another weird Australian food that's just not good though? I'm joking about koala. If anybody didn't figure that out,
Just like
nobody eats the teddy bear. You get chlamydia that way.
burgers.
Oh yeah, Zen Ginger with the chlamydia burgers. There you go.
I don't know.
I don't know, that's very Australian because, like, pretty much, all your servo pies, because they say, like, meat pie and sauce is, like, this Australian thing, but not all meat pies are created equal. Some of them are just, like, foul.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. There's not a lot of, like, because you've got all of your sort of, like, traditional foods, like, sort of, your bush tucker type of stuff. But otherwise, like, really Australian things, there's not a great deal of stuff that's really very unique, because a lot of our stuff is just influenced from lots of other places, isn't it?
Especially all of our old stuff is pretty much just English. What do you call it? You just use the word
Tucker.
inspired.
Oh, yeah, British food. And British food's just not good. Let's be honest.
Well, they've
Yeah.
had so long to perfect how bad it can be.
They've spent like a millennia making terrible cuisine,
Yeah.
perfecting the terror,
G'day,
Heavy
Ty.
emphasis on terror, right?
Ty Hunsicker, are you a junior? Are you Ty Hunsicker Jr.?
Man, I hope so.
I can't remember what I was watching, but I'm sure it was a sport of some sort, and there was
Probably Formula One. Isn't Ty Hunsaker Jr. a Formula One driver? Let's see.
don't think so, but there was a I can't remember if it was Tyler or Tyson Hunsicker Junior. But yeah, I think it was motor racing of some sort, but I'm not sure it was Formula One. Speaking of Formula One, Belgium Formula One, what a ride-off. G'day, Zip Gun. T-Bone, how's it going? This is such a disappointing race, if you can even call it a race. I know most people here are probably not into the Formula One like I am, but yeah, very disappointing to sit up so late because of the rain, non-finishing, crashing. So wet in Belgium over the weekend. And it's ironically called Spa, the town where the race is at. And Spas, I guess you assume, are going to be
Spas?
terribly wet.
Isn't Formula
G'day,
One going to be in
Natural.
like Portland soon? I think.
In what? Got an Austin one coming up. Austin,
I think
Texas.
they're in Portland. I think they're in Portland soon.
I believe there's only one American Grand Prix left on the calendar, and it's Austin, Texas. But there maybe Portland's trying to get a race.
September 11th through the 13th.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Not often,
2020.
it's Portland.
Grand Prix of Portland coming up.
Because that's one of the problems they've had this year is a
Yeah. Welcome to the
jumping
Grand
flipping
Prix
calendar and stuff.
2021 of Portland. This rescheduled race will take place at the 2-mile road course at Portland International Raceway. Oh, so it was supposed to be last year, but now it's this year, the 10th through
What's-
the 13th.
What's the dating you've got on that article?
It's their webpage.
Ah, yeah, right. Good.
Motorsports Travel, Grand Prix of Portland, IndyCar. Hi. Special guest Victoria in the background. Hi.
Hello, background Vicky.
Hello.
Oh, here she comes. Here she comes. She's coming into frame. There she is. There she is, Miss America.
Hi.
Hello.
Here, I have to open
How
that
are you,
one.
love?
Hello.
What are you doing?
There he is. Now I see
Yeah.
him. I'm getting ready to go pick up some toys for donation.
And Scungie's painting. The Scunge Princess. She's painting.
Oh, she's
What are you
I
painting?
am. You won't not be able to see it very well. It's just a little dude. Mm.
He's pretty cool.
Just a little doodle
That's
man.
rad.
What are you doing? Where are you going?
I'm getting ready to go pick up a load of toys that I'm going to donate to the daycare.
Oh,
Where you got to pick them up from? Upstairs.
Well, we have no, I have to go pick them up from one of my neighbors. We have these social Facebook pages called Buy Nothing groups, and everybody's neighborhood has like a little Buy Nothing group, and I don't know, cool way to get stuff to donate for good causes and stuff. People
Yeah,
trying to get rid of
absolutely.
their junk, and you can donate to a good place. So
I sometimes think that that's the absolute best and only good thing that's come out of Facebook is the groups that promote giving and receiving amongst your local communities.
yes, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So yeah, it is. It feels good to be a part of a group of people that do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and often
Although sometimes they come to pick up stuff and they scare Joel or almost get karate chopped.
because he doesn't know they're coming.
Yeah.
you want to be walking up on my porch at 11 o'clock at night, unannounced.
Carrying a box.
There's going to be issues. That's all I'm saying. Careful, because you might fall injured.
Yes.
Well, good luck. Be safe.
Yeah, I think
everyone.
see you soon, Vic. Good to see you.
Take good care, you guys.
Will do. Oh, cute.
I'm poisoned
Yeah.
now.
Often I think people trying to sell off their old stuff, they they lay too much value on it, so they get disappointed if someone comes along and only wants to give you a few bucks. Whereas if you donate stuff or give stuff away for a good cause, that you don't get any of that nasty. Oh, I only got $3 for it. You still get that good vibe.
Yeah, it's true. I think that
G'day,
comes down to the
liquid
self-appraisal issue that people have of not realizing that they just have some crap that's not really worth anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just triggers some emotional response.
Because what
so
I
it's
do,
gotta be worth
see,
it.
what I do is I don't socially network with all of these people. What I do is I make a sign that says free on it, and then I walk it out to the street and I put said free thing out there with a sign on it that says this is free. And I also write on the sign, please leave the sign, because I don't want to make another sign. Okay. I would like to recycle the sign because I don't like making signs all the time from people that just get to take free stuff. And I just put the free item out there, and I just, whoever comes by and they want the free thing, they can put it in their car. I don't have to know who they are. They don't have to know who I am. I don't need accolades. I don't need any of that stuff. Just take the crap and get out of here. That's just pretty much how I do it. you know.
Yeah.
But Vicky's
I-
building relationships, you know. She's building bridges. There's lots of smiles and people hitting the like button on the Facebook, and so I got a heart with the heart thing and the thing. I'm like, I don't care. Just take the crap. I don't want it anymore.
Yeah, well, I guess that's in some people's wheelhouse, but not in others. And I assume that you've had an occasion in the past where someone has stolen your free sign.
I don't know that they stole it. I just didn't think that they didn't realize that the free sign wasn't part of the deal.
Wasn't part of the deal.
You know.
Even though it said free on it, it wasn't free.
Well, they didn't have the instructions, you know. They didn't have the instructions of leave the sign here, you know. Because otherwise, I bet they would have thought that they were littering or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
you know. So they were probably their heart was in the right place. But the issue is that, like, I don't want to make another sign, bro. And if you want another old couch or something a couple weeks from now, then you got to leave the sign. Otherwise, I don't know if I'm going to get motivated. You know?
Yeah, crikey. There's about 3 couches on the road between my house and town at the moment.
Yeah, well, are any of them good? Because that's what I was going to say. I've been going on Gumtree looking for secondhand couch because I really need a couch. And yeah, everyone wants like thousands of bucks for their old couch. And I'm like, with thousands of bucks, I can buy a new couch.
Yeah,
I'm looking for a secondhand couch that's, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, just comfortable.
One of them did look quite nice from a distance, but it also looked like a fabric couch, and I just find, you know, secondhand fabric couches may be fraught with risk.
It could be a risky business.
You never know what they've done on there and how diligent.
Well, you know what one of the issues is that I had this couch and it was all kind of effed up, you know, and I was like, but I like the couch. I don't want to get rid of it. I want to just get it recovered, you know, like, hey, put some new cloth on here, bro.
Some new upholstery.
So I took it to the upholstery guy, that was literally his job, right? And it was like, it would have cost as much to just buy a new couch, right? Minus all the hassle. And I was like, this is a real, you got me in a real predicament here, brah, you know?
Right.
And then he was like, well, that's what it is, you know? And I'm like, okay. So I took the couch home and I lit it on fire and decided to just buy a new couch later. But ultimately, here's the point of the story. It turns out that upholstery company was actually a methamphetamine brewing operation. It was a front. Okay. So there is a possibility that my perspective on how expensive upholstering a couch is, it might be completely wrong, because it turned out those people were making meth and probably really didn't want to do the couch. So needless to say, I burned a couch because meth heads exist, right? And that's the moral of the story. But I will tell you this much. Couches are extremely dangerous because of their flammability. They're so flammable. That's ridiculous. Be careful around your couch, okay? I can testify that those things are extraordinarily dangerous. Don't smoke on a couch. It's just you're risking your biscuits, you know?
Yeah, stick to smoking in bed, people.
Yeah, come on. What are you doing?
While you're getting ear candled falling asleep.
You should smoke in the shower. That's really where you should smoke if you're gonna.
Oh, I think I've done that before.
Yeah, just hang out in the tub, smoke some cigs. If anything goes awry, you got the handle right there. You can just spray water all over the place, and Bob's your uncle. You know.
And you're already naked, so you could wee on it if it came to that.
You could do whatever. There could be liquids aplenty.
So many from everywhere. Hello, Crystal. What an awesome time.
Fraught
Crystal.
with liquids. So many liquids. Liquid Zoo's here. OnlyFins. Liquid Zoo / OnlyFins.
Piling onto the plethora of liquids available.
Does anybody get the Liquid Zoo OnlyFans? Does it get the name? Do you get the? You get it there? It's like the OnlyFans. That's funny.
Oh, there's been a lot of interesting stuff going on with OnlyFans as well, isn't there?
Yeah, they backtracked on it. They're just letting it be the same.
Yeah,
I think it was
They
just a I think it was just a stunt. I think it was literally just a publicity
thing.
stunt. Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to agree because it was
Because
those.
it's free. It was literally free to be like, oh, guys, we're gonna in a month from now. Oh, we're gonna change our policy 1 month from and a half. Actually, 2 months from now, guys, we're gonna change our policy. You can't be having the sexes on our platform anymore, okay? Even though our platform is literally for that.
Primarily
we're not
built
gonna have
by
that
those
anymore.
people.
And then every single newspaper, every single whatever, stupid show, everything ran with a story about it. Free publicity for a week and a half, never ending too. Like, what are all the nude people gonna do?
Yeah,
the outrage.
It's highlighting how progressive the general public has become because so much of the general public got behind all of those adult.
Literally and
entertainers.
figuratively. Oh,
Had all these new
I don't know,
people
man.
showing up
The
in
way I
town.
look at it is like sex work is work, and if it's something you want to do, then do it. If you're a consenting adult and you're distributing to consenting adults, I don't care. I'm like,
Yeah.
do your job. Because here's the thing, like prostitution's illegal, right? But it's legal if you fill out filming documents and say you're going to film them and pay them. Then it's suddenly legal, right? Because you're making a documentary.
I think the prostitution laws are different in Australia to where you're talking about then.
Oh, I don't know about Australia laws. You're all
Yeah,
down under. I would have enough time to read up on your laws on the flight there. The 3 days it takes to fly there. I could read all the laws. So I don't know.
I think
them
I
all
can
now.
sum it up and say that it's pretty much illegal to solicit on the street, but it's legal within an establishment like a brothel.
Yeah, but you have to have like a brothel, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but soliciting on the street and all of that is illegal, just like it is in the States.
Oh, it's basically all illegal here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's like a brothel in Nevada or something. I don't know. Which by the way is like 1,500 miles from my house. You know what I mean? It's not like, I don't know. How far is Nevada from here? 1,200 miles? I don't know. It's far away. It's not like you just on a whim drive over to Nevada.
Yeah.
Which is often one of the things that I think Australia gets the same thing that the States does, where it's like, well, just drive over to Sydney, and you're like, I don't know how far away it is for you specifically, but like, people, it's like a 30-hour drive. What are you talking about? Like, you can just drive over there, you maniac.
No, well, because that is the legal method to do it. It's there's pretty much one in every industrial estate. Wherever there's an industrial estate, they're just very discreet. G'day, Sombra. How are you?
It's all illegal here. We're very puritanical. The Puritans, as it were. You could get buck naked and somebody could massage your back with oil, but they can't massage your front groinal area. Not for money.
Yeah. They've got to do that bit free at the end of the paid service.
They could oily rub all the other parts of your body, your nipples and your butt cheeks, like all that stuff. But not your groinal region. No. You got to draw the line somewhere, sir.
Did I say hi to Tropico? I don't know if I did. Hello, mate.
Oh, Fish Tropic is asking, is this what happens in Peru? The Peru trip actually was very puritanical, by the way, if you guys were wondering. No, I don't even think anybody on the trip even had anything to drink other than, I think Randy tried a sangria. I think that was it. I think that was the only, even just drinking, And I think somebody smoked a cigar. I think that's about as wild as it got as far as the Peru trip. It was mostly eating. hiking around, doing stuff, fishing, walking around, a lot of walking around, checking stuff out. That's pretty much like a huge portion of it. Just kind of
Yeah,
like,
well, I
like,
would
all right,
imagine
we're back. You know, it's like kind of like we're back in town. All right, let's go walk that direction and check out stuff, I guess, you know.
And if you've got a fairly tight schedule and busy schedule, it's not like you want to be stuffing it up with hangovers and whatnot.
Oh
If
yeah, I
you're
mean,
early
I'm a
starts and
sober
all.
guy, so I don't drink, and Corey doesn't drink. And I don't know. I don't think Dean drinks. Maybe like a beer or something here and there. Maybe. I don't know. And I'm not sure. I don't think Randy really drinks either. I don't think I don't think anybody on that trip was a big fan of any of that nonsense. So it just is what it is. You know, very puritanical.
And did you buy a 3-liter Coke? Crikey, I
Me?
don't think we've even got them down here.
No, I don't. I don't drink Coca-Cola. No, I didn't. I don't drink Coca-Cola. I don't drink pop. I'm really not a fan. Maybe once every like couple of years I'll like have a Sprite or a ginger ale maybe. Ooh, ginger ale. That's kind of good.
Yeah,
Maybe a sarsaparilla. Go old school.
Sarsaparilla.
If it's a good one. Yeah.
I definitely struggle with excessively sweet soft drinks nowadays.
Yeah, I don't. I'm really not a fan.
Like
Like
generally,
if I drink like a whole pop, I'd be like, ugh. I don't even feel good after, you know.
yeah, I can do like a bourbon and Coke or cola of some sort.
But I will
And if
say
I-
that the pop, the Coca-Cola and stuff in South America specifically is way different than the American kind. It's not. It has no. It's like I think it's cane sugar or whatever. The formula is like way different down there, and it's only comes in glass bottles. Like you don't
right.
you don't get it in plastic bottles. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little different, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, if I've had one, the next one I have has to be either a soda water or I have to water down that cola with soda because it's just too
Right.
full on.
Right.
Just leaves my mouth like, yeah.
Yeah.
I much prefer the cleanness of a soda, turkey soda.
Fish Tropic is wondering if I still have a throat infection. No, I don't. I had like a sore throat that was inexplicable. I had no idea what was going on. Like, I didn't have any like symptoms. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have a fever. I didn't feel bad or anything like that. It just my throat was all weird. I don't know. It was just bizarre for like last week or whatever.
Might have just been that different air.
Today I was just out digging in the dirt all day and stuff, and I'm just like that. I'm just kind of like gross from that, but there's a lot of trees getting knocked down and chainsaws running and dust and debris. I probably should have been wearing my my dust mask, but I wasn't because I was outside. So, yeah. A 3 liter of Coke, though. You know what? I don't even know what I would do with a 3 liter of Coke. I'd probably put
just
some
seems-
Mentos in it and blast it off like a rocket.
2 liters seems too much. 1.125 liters seems too much.
Well, those aren't supposed to be single serve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah,
supposed
but
to be like, oh, you have a party and you're gonna. Even in the States, those aren't even like. You don't see people like drink. You know, like you don't see people like walking around drinking out of a 2 liter. You know.
But don't you guys have like 1 liter cups of drink with like meals and stuff? I don't know. I've heard that. I don't know if it's truly, you know, where you go to like one of those fast food places like McDonald's or
Just-
something,
If you go
and
to-
the drink is like
Yeah,
can get a huge one.
There are 1 liter cups. Yeah. Like McDonald's, I think has them, but they're mostly at like gas stations. Like gas stations are known for having a big ass cup. I don't know why.
Because presumably a cup is considered a serving, like they're not selling it to someone to put in the fridge for later.
Yeah, but we have like if you go to the gas station, you can get a tiny cup, right? And then you can get like this cup, and then this cup, and then this cup, and then this cup, and I think it just literally became, like a gimmick. Like, we have the bigger cup. Like, come on in here, but you have to pay more for it. So I never really understood, like, our cup is bigger, but it costs more. It's not like it's just a bigger cup for the same price. Like, each cup is progressively more expensive. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
I think it's literally just an upselling tactic to get people to buy the 1 cent content.
It's a perceived value by that person. Or if I
Well,
get
'cause,
the
like,
bigger one, I'm getting
I don't
value
think
for
the
money.
average I don't think the average consumer realizes that, like, pop is one of the biggest markup items that anybody sells food wise, right? So, like, the contents of the Coca-Cola in a cup from the beverage fountain, that thing costs like a cent, maybe 2 cents to fill it up, and they sell it to you for like $2.39 or whatever, right? The cup costs more than the content of the cup.
Yeah.
Of the cup.
The
markup is phenomenal.
I used to get emails for some reason. I don't remember what I signed up for or anything, but this company used to send me emails saying how I should put one of those post-mix soda systems in my business because it's 900% profit or some ridiculous number like that.
Yep.
So the machine pays for itself in no time. I didn't even have a business to put a drink machine in, but they kept sending me these emails.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, like, in the restaurant business, like, you know, you coach your servers to sell them pop, to sell them, you know, all those little add-on stuff, because all of it, I mean, you're gonna wash the cup, so the cup, you already own it, right? You put some ice and some pop in there, and it's, you know, it costs you basically nothing, and you're charging, you know, restaurant prices. It's like $2.99 or whatever. You know, it's like it's basically $3 of the least amount of effort profit you could ever do. Same thing with like well drinks. Like, a lot of people don't realize well drinks, like that vodka that's in a well drink is like, when you buy that with your liquor license, that fifth of vodka is like $2. So when they're like, hey, come on in and get $2 wells, you know, it's like, here's a short pour of $2 vodka. So it's basically like
well
15
drink?
cents worth of vodka. And it's like, oh, it's only $2. Oh my God, you're getting all the liquor, you know, and it's like, it's the worst. It's the scrapings of the liquor, you know what I mean? It's the trash.
I'm with Scungy. I'm unfamiliar with what a well drink is.
So a well drink would be, in the US they call it a well drink, which is like vodka, ice, and then like maybe a cranberry, orange juice, whatever. Or it could be tequila or whatever. A well drink is the cheapest mixed liquor drink that you buy at a restaurant. They call that a well. So if you were like, I want a vodka orange juice, right? A screwdriver. And you go like, oh, you want the well? You'd be like, yeah, I'll have the cheap liquor, basically. And then, so what they do is they do specials at happy hour, and they go, oh, $3 well drinks or $2 well drinks. They're selling you that 15-cent vodka, you know, for $2, because it's just such a good deal for you, right? It's such a good deal for you, right? And yeah, so it's one of those funny things that people don't even realize just how brutally they're being ripped off. They're being taken.
Yeah, but you know, there's enough humans out there who are willing to fork over the cash.
That's right.
For that noise. I've got to go and do a quick crocodile wrestle, and I'll be right back. G'day, Bob. Bob Kaler in the house, just as I need to go and wee.
That's your wee. Rico says, anything can be a well drink. If you don't ask for a brand, you get a well drink. Yeah, I'm aware.
So it's just like the cheapest.
Yeah, it's the cheapest liquor. It's the no-name liquor. You know, it's just like
bottom
It'll be
shelf.
some random nonsense. As he says, if you ask for a Captain and Coke, you get Captain Morgan. Supposedly, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. They put the well alcohol down below the bar. Generic crap alcohol. Yeah, it's down in the speed well, down at the bottom. That's why they call it a well drink. Yeah. And the speed well is just all those cheap liquor bottles that are down by the crotch area. The bartender's all whooshink. Here's your rum or whatever, and the bottle just says like Brad's rum or something dumb on it, you know. It just says rum with 3 X's on it, and you're like, oh, the quality. Wowzers. But when you buy that, so if you went to buy that liquor at the store, it would probably be like $6 or $7 or something a bottle. But when you have your liquor license, it's like $1. I remember an owner that I worked for bought he bought some like outrageous amount of cases of vodka because they were like discontinued by the liquor company or the liquor control board, and they were like $1 a bottle. And we just had stacks and stacks and stacks of cases of that stuff in the back just forever. Because he's like, it's such a good deal. It's not going bad. I'm like, well, it's true. But now we got all these stupid boxes all over the place. They're all heavy because they're full of liquid.
Yeah, well, if you basically go into a bar or a club or a pub here and say you just ask for a vodka Coke or a bourbon Coke,
right?
They will give you their cheapest, nastiest shelf bourbon unless you ask for Wild Turkey by name or another decent brand. Unless you ask for the specific brand, I guess that's how equivalent of your well drink. They're giving you like the shittiest, worstest.
Like you'd be like, I need a Glenlivet, you know, or a Glenmorangie, right?
If you ask for
I need a 21-year Scotch. Bleh.
Yeah,
right.
You ask for a Scotch and soda, you'll be lucky to get a Johnny Walker Red or a some other shit brand that I can't think of because I'm not a Scotch guy.
Indeed, it is what it is. So what's going on with you guys? What's happening this week? Are you COVID lockdown still?
Yeah, we're still locked down.
They're like, stay home, cover your yobbles, get them all covered, keep them safe.
See, we're a little bit uncertain between me and Scungy whether we actually broke the law the other day because
No, we didn't.
Scungy lives in a different local government area.
No, it says very clearly that I can come stay.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I thought thanks, Sombra. Black Douglas. That's exactly the other shitty Scotch I was thinking of.
Yeah, because old Mikey over there, he's in your bubble, right?
No, he's not. But it's the way that it works is that you're only allowed within your local government area or within 5 kilometers of your home. So say if you're at the edge of your shire, you can still travel outside it within 5 kilometers. However, if you have limit is not placed on, like, if it's your partner. So if it's your partner and you live at a different house, you can actually travel beyond that.
Oh, that makes sense.
And they also have a thing where if you live alone, you're allowed to have somebody, but that somebody has to be within 5 kilometers of you who's allowed to visit. But if it's your partner, then it can be with it.
Yeah, you're like, look, government cheese, I'm gonna be swapping spit, okay? I'm gonna be snogging, you know? Is that right? I'm gonna be smooching. I'm gonna be doing some smooching. It's none of your business. Mind your P's and Q's.
Yeah. Well, I guess that there are so many things they can take away from people, but there are some things that I guess they've anticipated may cause a lot of problems if they try and take those.
That's right.
That's why the bottle shops are still open.
Yeah, because otherwise it'd be riots.
There would be.
Everyone would just be like.
Even the non-heavy drinkers would bloody kick up a stink.
Oh, probably. I bet they would.
I can't get my one bottle of red that I need to have half a glass out of tonight.
But it's worse is that there's massive amounts of the population who drink so heavily that if they were suddenly denied it and couldn't get their hands on it, their country would be in a bit of a mess because all those people would be
end up in hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd end up in
It's a
the
bit
hospital.
sad and scary.
The delirium tremens, right? The DTs.
But yeah, one of the things we did.
Hey, trust
when
me,
we were-
I've been around a lot of people, including myself, that had to detox from alcohol, and I'll tell you, do it safely. If you are a heavy drinker, go to the doctor and be like, "Hey, I want to detox off alcohol," and they'll be like, "Well, we got some pills for you, Chief, so you don't have a seizure and a stroke and die. So how about that?" And you'd be
Is
like,
that also the ones that you take that makes you sick and vomit when you drink alcohol? Or is that
That's different. That's once
That's different.
once you're like, no.
That's nonsense. Don't go to that. Like if you're an
certainly
alcoholic
wouldn't.
or whatever, go to 12-step meetings. That's what I recommend.
Too much God in those things.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've ever been, but God can be anything as far as the concern goes, and it actually explains that to you, that it's not religious based. It's the understanding that you are not the center of the universe, and that there are things that are more powerful than you. And you could literally, your God could just be trains. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever your higher power is, it could be anything. It could be a rock. You can just be like, that rock weighs like, I don't know, 100 tons. Look at that. That's my God over there. I'm going to go give him a pet. That's my relationship. It's just a basic understanding of learning that you're not the center of the universe, you know.
I like the sound of this God. Where can I find him and where can I worship him?
He's just outside on the ground. Actually, mine's the sun god. I believe in the sun. Because I go outside and I see it out there and it's shining on things and it makes them grow.
And all the other wonderful stuff it does. Creates vitamin D in our skin.
That's right. And it's also like gravitationally holding us in place.
Whoa.
So we don't fly off too far. You know, we don't want to go too far. But yeah, in my experience, I chose the sun god. I went with a classic Greek mythology of the sun is my god. And as people have tried to put my hypothesis to the test, they've been like, the sun, whatever. How do you know? And I was like, well, here's the fun thing. How old's the sun? And they go like, well, if you believe in science, which I do, you know, it's billions of years old. How long would it take the sun to even say anything to you? Right? It would take hundreds and hundreds of years for the sun to even utter a sentence, right? Because its life is so much longer than ours.
Maybe it takes billions of years for it to even generate its sentience.
There you go.
See, I used
Different
sentience
timelines.
instead of sentence.
That's right.
Hey,
I like
that was crafty.
I just picked the biggest. I picked the biggest and shiniest rock.
It's probably got some. It can't just be all gas, can it?
It's not all. It's not all, baby.
Yeah. So yeah, in our what Scungy has cleared up as non-breaking the law, Scungy came and stayed here on Monday night, and we watched a couple of interesting shows. Firstly, we finished Bad Batch, so Scungy's all up to date on Bad Batch now. So
all caught up.
Don't have to worry about spoilers for her now.
Yeah.
But
it's
then
quite
we
the
watched.
spin out at the end of Bad Batch. I got to tell you.
Yeah, I agree.
They leaned hard into they're going to be season 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it would have been
left us
funner.
wanting.
I think it would have been funner had they concluded. I think stronger. I think if they had, I think if they had wrapped the season super hard with a strong conclusion, it would have been, in my opinion, like season 2 would have likely been way more interesting when things pick back up, right? Because you could even you could time travel a little bit. Like, well, 9 months have passed. and things seemed to get normal, but then hiccups, and then you could go into season 2. But either way, I still liked it.
Yeah. It did what it was supposed to do. Left me wanting more.
That's true. True.
And I really, 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 really need to know how Crosshair got off that planet. If the Empire have washed their hands of it and they've gone, they're not coming back to look for him or anything. We don't know if he's got a distress beacon or something.
Yeah, it is really kind of out there. Although,
I hope
it
he's got
seems
that.
like everything was kind of blown up, right? But it's pretty clear that not everything was blown up.
Yeah.
Like the
So he might be
planet's
able to
pretty
find
decimated. But there's still like monsters in the deep and things going on. There's still the platform, the secret platform. So I don't know how much else could be on that planet. Maybe there's a storyline where he's just like kind of being
Robinson
weird on
Crusoe.
Camino, right? Maybe he's just being weird on Camino for a couple years.
He goes on a self-exploration journey.
Maybe he does some deep meditation and some weird science experiments.
And some
That'd be
fishing. But yeah, then we watched a few episodes of this Australian, I guess would you call it sketch comedy? Scungy. It's kind of sketch and bit comedy, I guess, called The Moth Effect on Amazon Prime. I'm not sure if it's broadcasting in America, but Scungy can probably attest that I piss my pants laughing to some of the bits in that show. There's some funny people that act in it and stuff. So, if you get it over there, have a look at some silly Australian comedy. The giant Attenborough was a very good bit. David Attenborough went on the rampage around the planet. That was very good. But then we got into another show on Amazon Prime. What's it called? 9 Perfect Strangers. Is that what it's
9
called?
Perfect Strangers.
Yeah, it's
Well, The Moth Effect is not available here.
bastards.
Can I watch it free on Amazon? Oh, now it's working. Wait, is it
I'm
working?
going to say, because it has only just come out here, so potentially it might take a little while. Before
Okay, I've got it. It's playing now. I don't know why when I searched for it on Amazon, it didn't work. But if I search for it on Google, apparently it's a TV show I can watch. Or maybe I'm just so... maybe my VPN is so crazy it thinks I'm like in whatever country.
Yes, right. But yeah, I'd seen, I think it was Prime as well, this 9 Perfect Strangers show, and it has a couple of rather well-known people in it, like Nicole Kidman and Melissa McCarthy, and the dude with the beard, who I'm sure I've seen him in other things. But yeah, we were kind of really uncertain whether we'd actually get into it, because it's like these 9 people have gone to this wellness retreat, this mysterious, expensive wellness retreat run by this Russian woman played by Nicole Kidman, and she does quite a good job at the pretend Russian accent. And we
I always think she does a good creepy lady.
Yeah, she certainly does. It's that ginger, milky skin fairness, the way she already looks like a ghost. But yeah, I think
I don't know. I think it's other things, but yeah.
We smashed through about 4 episodes of it, I think, maybe even 5. It was really quite addictive, and sort of does leave you wanting more as well, because you want to know what's going on. We want to find out what this is all about, because there's some really interesting stuff that goes on. I'm not sure if anyone else is familiar with 9 Perfect Strangers yet, but I'm going to go with a highly recommend at the moment. And it, certainly by looking at the previews of it, I wouldn't necessarily have thought that it would be a show that I'd be that into. But yeah, a very interesting story so far. I can't wait to find out where it's going to go. But unfortunately, now I have to wait until the next potential time that Scumsy and I are in the same location at the same time. She gets cranky at me when I go and watch. Like if we start watching a show together and I go and finish it without her, she gets cranky at me.
Yeah, Vicky legit got pissed at me that I watched something the other day that she had no interest in whatsoever.
I just think if you like regularly watching a certain thing together, then you have to wait for the other person to have it. But if it's like ages and you're not going to get to watch it together, or you want to watch something of your own thing, but if like you've shared it all the way and then, you know, but that's like, I guess, just with a partner. I don't think that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a documentary on drummers. Like, she has no interest. She has no interest in drummers or drumming or percussion, or she has no interest in that. And I was like, oh, hey,
maybe she just wanted to spend time with you.
She doesn't want to spend time with me. Where is she? She's out giving toys away from some free weirdos she's never met in her entire life. She doesn't want to spend time with me. She's tired of spending time with me. I'm always here. Like doing weird stuff. Like, oh, look at this. I took this thing apart and I'm going to put the wires in here. And I shocked myself. Oh, God. Hold on. Get out of here. Come back later when it's fixed. She's no. She literally came down into my office just now and probably had a anxiety attack because my desk is so dirty. There's the stuff all over my desk. Like, here's some this and this fly swatter. There's a fly swatter here. I mean, she's like, oh my God, this desk is disgusting. And I'm like, it's just got parts on it and stuff, you know, like here's a mouse that's not doing anything. I got a mouse here just in case. And I got this, and there's some pens and pencils, you know what I mean? It's chaos. And she does the like, oh my God, there's dust all over this. She doesn't like it.
I do feel that a fly swatter is an important tool to have on your desk at all times.
I gotta have a fly swatter on my desk for whacking at any point in time. If a fly gets down here, it shall be whacked readily.
Well, I
used to have one that looked like a flower. It was like a flower, and then anytime Olivia came down here, it was like she immediately would grab it and be like, "It's a flower," and like rub it on her face. I'm like, "Ew."
Yeah, so it's a flower covered in flies' guts.
Yeah, don't touch that. Oh, no, she's got it. You know, it was like, no good. You know. And today's one of those rare days that Olivia is hanging out with grandparents. So Vicky is legitimately doing it, whatever other than hanging out with me right now. So. Oh, I can go do that thing I wanted. I don't know what she's doing. She's wandering around. I think she's hanging paintings, right? Or, sorry, not paintings, photos. Like, I think she changed the photos out in the hallway photos, you know, that are like family and stuff. She like took those all down and then she touched up the paint on the walls. And then now she's rehanging the family photos on the wall. Yeah,
I thought it did seem a weird time for her to be going out collecting toys and stuff.
It's happening, you know. That's just this. What's up, dude? You know, she's like, I can't just sit here and not do anything. I'm like, seriously, just chill, you know. And she's like, I think there's got to be some laundry to do or something. And I'm like, there's 2 dirty shirts. What are you gonna do? Run a whole load? You can't do it. She's like, maybe I'll run a load. You know, I'm like,
maybe I'll rewash some things just for
I'm gonna wash this other stuff over here. And yeah, I don't know. That's just how she is, man. She just can't.
I'm gonna rub some tea towels in the dirt just to make a load.
She'd be freaking out, you know, a little bit.
Yeah, they'll do that, won't they?
Yeah, sorry, I got a thing popped up over here. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's just how Vicky is. I love her to death, but sometimes I'm like, chill, dude. Just chill. She can't. She's like, no, I don't want to. I'm like, okay, well, that's cool.
So, I did see a comment back there a wee bit from Bob Kaler asking if we're potentially doing an art auction soon.
Ooh.
We've Scungy and I have been talking about it for a little while, but we're a wee bit concerned about actual interest, because when we used to do our art auctions, there was a heck of a lot of interest in people wanting to buy her art. But it's certainly something we're considering, Bob, if you're still about. Yeah, we've certainly been considering putting an auction on again, just basically because we can't, with our lockdowns and nonsense that we're going through, we can't go and have a gallery show or go and sell stuff at the markets because markets aren't happening proper and that. So an online auction is potentially a viable outlet at the moment for us. Especially Scungy's churning out the works at the moment.
I would love to be able to do something, but yeah, it is very much dependent on the people wanting to buy stuff. Yeah, it's such a hard time, and I sort of thought things were starting to open up and looking like it's getting better, and then it's just gone.
G'day, Phil.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly the I would say realistically that's the depressing part right now. It's like it seemed like oh man, we're going over the hump. Things are gonna go back to normal, and no, okay, that's just
it's not so much a hump as a sine curve, is it?
Yeah, it's just
things
it really,
will go good, things will go shit, things will get a little bit better, things will go shit. I think we may have a year or two more of ups and downs yet with this. Right. What does Bentley call it? Human malware.
Yeah, like the human malware.
I don't know if that's if he's coined the phrase, but that's the first place I heard it was on his stream. But yeah. I think we're still in for some interesting times, even if we get 50% of the population vaccinated. I think we're still in for some interesting times because of entitled humans and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's like you give up lots of things, but there is that point of like if you can't make money, then it becomes a bit more frightening, because like that's the position here, and like I live in a house that's like we've got like two separate houses, one on top of the other, and so my mum rents the downstairs and I rent the upstairs, and she can't go to work either, so it's like I can't be selling and showing my work, and she can't go to work, and in the end it's sort of like to this sort of looming homelessness fear. That's not an exaggeration. That's like really hanging over their heads right now.
Right.
And I know there's lots of people in that same boat, losing their ability to make income through it. Because like not being able to go to a party or out to see a movie at the cinema is one thing, but sort of not being able to pay rent and feed your family is a different one, and it's slightly more pointy.
Tropico has put a question in there which sounds a lot like a commission to me. You know, when you make a specific request of an artist, I believe that's called a commission, isn't it? And generally, it comes with a fee.
Yeah, typically like commission pieces, you have to put down a deposit. You gotta work out the details of what you want, come to an agreement, deposit. You know, then upon completion, a slight review, those things. Yeah, you know, it's a little
'Cause
bit of a
I'm-
process. It's generally pretty painless. You know, I mean,
Yeah, I'm
like you
I'm
want somebody
fairly
to do work.
like I'm at least 98% certain that she sure could do that, Tropico. But you know, if you really want to see it, hey,
Yeah, reveal the cash.
send
this.
unmarked bills in a brown envelope too. I wish I could remember that Monty Python address behind the water heater in the lav at something or other. The Bishop. I think that was from the Bishop sketch. Um, I've got my sisters trying to have a conversation with me as well. Stuff going on over there. Interesting times.
All sorts of strange things happening.
Big time.
Danny, do you need me?
Shall we do a little bit of fish talk? I had
What
a
are you talking about?
interesting situation with my rivulatus. I have
What's
two
going on?
rivulatus. I believe one's a male and one's a female.
Mm-hmm.
And last week I fed some chunks of prawn.
Prawn.
And they went to town on it and ate heaps. And she's like only a quarter the size of the male, but she ate lots of prawn and got a really fat belly.
Mm-hmm.
And the male rivulatus started doing, you know, cichlid dances and stuff. But it didn't eventuate to anything. So I possibly speculate that rivulatus are turned on by fat girls, and the fact that he saw his girl with a bulbous stomach got him all ready to breed, and he's going, oh, but then all of a sudden 2 days later the round belly has disappeared, and he's more interested in chasing her away from his place now. It was a very interesting couple of days.
I'm going to have to go, I'm afraid.
Oh, well,
I
get
have-
out of here then.
I have needy kitties, so I've got to do that. But
Okie doke.
have fun.
Thanks for hanging out.
Okay.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, you better show us your pictures before you go. Since, you know, we were
Oh
talking
well,
about
I got
unboxings and all.
interrupted on this one, so it's not finishing. And then these ones here that I did kind of flash this one before. They like, you know, similar kind of little dudes, little paintings. And
Nice.
and that guy was from before, but I feel it really, like, I can see it and it looks one way, and then when I put it on there, it doesn't look anything. It doesn't look like it at all.
Yeah,
Looks
I
really-
think we're really suffering from
Yeah,
your
yeah,
light.
Yeah, and missing like all of the details, because that's really detailed, whereas these are kind of wishy-washy paint ones anyway. So anyway, that's them. That's those guys. That happened this
Hey,
morning.
I hope you know I appreciate it either way, whether it's HD quality or not. Either way,
Thanks.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, the quality still shines.
Appreciate
through.
your appreciation.
Makes my
Okay.
makes my week more lovely than before.
Yay.
That's a solid review. Oh yeah. Sorry, I left you on scene.
It's like a big weight when I'm the only one on there, and I can actually feel the heaviness like weighing me down.
It comes right on top of you.
Mm-hmm. Sure does. All right. Have fun. Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
And
love. Talk to you soon.
be well. Bye.
Love you.
Love you.
And then there were two.
And then there were two blokes talking about farts on the internet. Well, I mean, as far as the fish go, I mean, there definitely is a possibility that,
Roundness triggers his
yeah,
drive.
I think yeah, I mean, I think you're likely onto something there. I mean, it's, fish know when their females are conditioned and ready to go, and it might have been triggered. Could have been a hormonal release. That she was fed really well, and then maybe like, oh, maybe that's the go hormone. That definitely could apply there. So yeah, I mean, it could be any number of that situation. That could be.
Yeah, maybe I just got to keep the prawns up.
Yeah.
If I even want them to breed, God,
I think if you want them to breed,
tank.
I mean, that pretty much goes for any fish. Is like, if you want them to breed and you're feeding them well, chances are they probably will. Whether or not you're ready to deal with the eggs or if they're a live bearer, the live offspring and stuff, that's a different question. But it definitely is a good idea to feed really well if you want your fish to breed. That's just like rule one, numero uno.
Yeah, well, I've got I noticed sitting at the dinner table last night that I've got a lot of fin flaring and stuff from my white clouds.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I think as this weather is slowly warming up, I kind of expect that my white cloud population might boom.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, generally I think a zip gun has probably nailed it, that you do generally, especially with cichlids, once you start pumping them with a good high protein diet, that certainly triggers some breeding behaviors and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was pretty much the only reason they got prawn was because the Oscar rejected it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he chewed. I gave the Oscar 2 big chunks of prawn, and he smashed one a little bit.
Right.
And he might have, been grinding it on his pharyngeal plates and got a little bit of food out of it, but he ended up just spitting it out. But put it in the riv tank, and the bristle nose and the ribs just started smashing it straight away. So obviously wasn't a bad prawn. I think my Oscar's just being a fussy boy or girl,
Just being
whatever
a
it is.
slob.
Yeah,
Just
he's
being
been really.
mess.
My Oscar's been really shit on his food in the last month or two.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't like the pellets that he used to smash heaps of. Give him some different pellets, and he might only pick one or two of them. But potentially it's a temperature thing as well, because I've only got a small heater in the big tank, which is probably my mistake. So it runs at about 22, 23 Celsius.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, potentially a lot colder than an Oscar desires for regular behavior. So that part of it could be all on me, but he's still healthy and happy and still good fun.
Yeah.
Jerome, hello, Jerome. Any advice for running an adult brine shrimp colony to feed fish? I cannot speak on this because I've not raised brine shrimp properly before. G'day, Zuri Basara. Have you got any advice on brine shrimp colonies?
What's that? Advice for what?
Running an adult brine shrimp colony to feed fish. I guess he means, having brine shrimp actually complete the life cycle in a tank instead of just raising the eggs and feeding them. But having adults.
I just raise the eggs and feed them. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say if I've ever had them like get full grown or whatever. I mean,
Well,
yeah,
apparently the once they're full grown, their nutritional value is considerably less than a baby brine shrimp, isn't it? So
yeah.
potentially that's why not many people breed the whole process, I guess, because
No.
once they're
It's
once
so
they're
easy to
adults,
hatch.
their only
It's so
value
easy
is
to
as
hatch
breed.
and like just maintain in the brine shrimp feeder,
Hatchery.
and then or in the hatchery, yeah, and then just strain them off and feed them. I mean, it's just so easy to do that. I don't see why I would go further. I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
So
even when I was at like the big breeder wholesalers in like Germany and Netherlands and stuff like that, like even though they weren't like, they had giant brine shrimp hatcheries, like gigantic. I mean, it's hard to describe. They're like 10 feet tall, huge, huge. But they legit were just like, they were hatching them and then like maintaining them in that big thing. And then, but they were mainly just, they had like a giant strainer and they just like crank open a valve and get a ton of them and dump them into a big thing, and then get a ton of them and dump them into, get a ton of them, dump them in, they just use them in a giant colander type strainer, instead of a little guy. So I mean, I would just hatch the baby brines and go that route, and instead of, I mean, I guess it's kind of rude to say it's like overcomplicating the process, but I wouldn't try to overcomplicate it. You know what I mean? Like if you got a thing that's working fine,
and
yeah,
like I alluded to before, your most nutritional value from brine shrimp comes from the day or two old baby ones,
right.
So potentially just stick with the hatching out some eggs and using them as food, because I think the process might also be a bit longer than if you've just got a big jar of brine shrimp eggs ready to go and they hatch within 24 hours and are ready to feed within 36 or 48 hours. Seems a pretty good process.
Right.
And Zuri Basara, welcome, by the way, if I didn't say hi before. Had any success breeding native Aussie freshwater fish? I can't say that I have. Potentially the only natives that I may have bred would be the glass shrimp, because they're not really much different to a cherry shrimp or something like that. They're prolific breeders.
Mm-hmm.
They get busy no matter what water they're in and stuff. They go nuts. But yeah, as with regard to fish, I can't say I've had any success. I thought I was breeding honey blue eyes for a little while, but I think that they were in a bathtub pond of mine down at my son's house.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were interrupted by the seasonal changes.
Oh yeah,
got a little bit cold outside for them to do their breeding and stuff, and then being all wild caught specimens, they all perished over the winter.
That brutal Aussie winter.
So brutal, so harsh. Good day, Pipex.
Probably got all the way down to 70 degrees. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, it was funny. One of the funny stories that from Peru, of talking with the Peruvians, the locals, as it were. It was quite interesting, with just sort of talking about day-to-day stuff, like the guys that live there, I was asking them, like, what's the coldest you've ever experienced, And the reality is it was like 75 degrees once or something, or 72 degrees or something. Like it's the coldest it's ever been. Like, oh my God, it was so cold. I had to wear like a jacket, like, was like 72 degrees. I'm like, really? Wow.
I'm assuming that's in the lowlands, yeah, because I'm sure it'd get quite cold
we were
up
not.
in the hills.
We were not in the mountains. We weren't in the mountains. These are the lowland people.
But yeah, they're not doing a hell of a lot of travel for pleasure, are they?
No, they don't really have access to that kind of fundage, of just going on holiday. Because if they go on holiday, it's like you just go to the river. Like, it's right over there.
I'm not sure if I said g'day to two Dougs, but g'day Doug and Mel Mel as well. Hello, Mel Mel.
And so
things are okay.
One of the things that's going on down there is that, like, if you're gonna like if you're gonna have a couple days off or something like that, you just go down to like the beach, because like on the river there are spots where there's like white sand beaches, and people have stuff set up there. So there's like shacks and shanties and stuff set up, and then they're like people have like sound systems. It's just a blasting music, and then that's what you go do. Like, you just kind of go party at the beach. You're like, like, oh, we got the day off, we're not doing anything, and then you get the little boats. I think they're called tuk-tuks or whatever. They're just like these little long wooden boats. You just pay some guy a couple soles, and they ride you over there to the beach, and then they drop you off, and then some other guy will give you a ride back to the other side of the river or whatever. I mean, that's like what it'd just be like what you do. Like, you just go chill, go down to the beach and have some barley pops and listen to some loud music at the beach. Loud music at the beach. Everybody's a part of the music. You can't escape it. It's loud. If you don't like that song, you're going to have to wait because you're in it. But yeah, those guys they'd never seen cold weather. They didn't understand that like you can't go in a lot of the water where I live. Like, you can't go in it. And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, if you fell in there and you were swimming around, you'd die in about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. You might live for 5 minutes. And they're like, what? What do you mean? Like, you just go in the water. It's fine.
How does water get this cold?
Yeah. It's like, what do you mean? That doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, yeah, man, just trust me on this one. A lot of times it freezes, and they're like, what do you mean it freezes? I'm like, ice? Like, yeah. And they're like, well, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean there's like ice cubes? I'm like, no, it freezes. You can walk on it. You can just walk across the lake, and they're like, what? I'm like, yeah. Like, I really hope that we could have we could afford to like fly those guys up to come visit the US, like,
just to witness that enlightenment.
Well, it was one of the guys I was talking to. He literally was like, it's my life's dream to visit the United States. He's like, I dream about it. I dream about that all the time. And I wonder, I don't know if I have the image on my computer. Let me see if I got it on here or if I still haven't imported it. Let me see.
G'day, double M, triple I.
It's on my Instagram. If I could, I don't know how to download from my Instagram. I don't know if I'm going to try to whilst live.
You can have a go. Zuri Basara, are you Australian as well and have been attempting to breed Australian natives? Hence your question.
Oh, there's my dog. Oh, I might be able to download it from here. Save image as. Yeah, let's just save it there. Hold on. Okay, now we need to import it to here. Add source. Media files. Media files. Here we go. So this guy right here, this fella,
holding the tiny pleco.
Yeah, it's just a tiny pleco. It's just a little guy.
Wow.
He caught
Did you
that.
get a type on that one? Was it like a sunburst or whatever they call it with interesting colors?
I don't know, man. It's in phase 3. Who knows what's going on? It's 2 feet long. I mean, it's huge.
Quite pretty.
They ate it, so who knows? But regardless, the story that I'm telling here is that he went and put on this shirt that's like an American flag, right?
To prove
He
his
was-
dream to you.
Yeah, he was like, that's legit. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I want to go visit the United States someday. Like, that's my dream. So it's like, if we could bring like him and his brother up here for like a week or two or something, like it would be hilarious. I think it would be, pretty cool to like show those guys around and be like, yeah, here's the ocean, bro. You want to check out the ocean? Oh, don't go in there. That's cold, buddy. And stuff like that. I think it would be pretty interesting. Like, I don't know if those guys have ever driven in a car at like 60 miles an hour. I don't think they ever have. Like, I don't think they've never driven on a freeway. So like Iquitos has no road to it. There's no road to get to Iquitos. You have to fly there or take it's like a 6-day boat ride
From Lima.
Yeah, it takes forever.
Anyway.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting, But yeah, it's one of those things. Like, it's just it's a weird situation. Those guys they've never seen anything cold, and they've also never seen like the trees. So what spurred that conversation was a long conversation, but what spurred that conversation was he was asking me about how the trees all change colors.
Yeah, right.
He's like, what do you mean they all turn? Do they all turn red, like in orange and yellow and stuff, like all the same? I'm like, yeah, fall. It's like autumn. And I even had to look up the Spanish word for autumn, and I've forgotten it since then. He didn't understand that like all the leaves fall off the tree at the end of the year. Like when fall comes around, it starts to get cold, and then there are no leaves on the trees until the springtime, and then they all grow back. He was just like, what? That's crazy. Because when you're around the equator, the trees have leaves all year round. They don't ever shed their leaves. Mel has a good point here. So many people have never seen the ocean. That's right. Lots of people, a surprising amount of people. I've grown up near the ocean, been on the ocean many times, and it seems like it's normal to me. And then I meet all sorts of people that have like, I've never seen it before. I want to see it sometime. And I'm like, okay, we'll go check it out, bro. And they're like, oh my God, it's so big. And I'm like, you're right. It is so big.
It's one of those
Big D Smoke has a good point. They have rainy season. They have it's raining or it's not raining. That's the two seasons that they have. Which I don't think I could handle that. I don't think I could handle the same weather all year round like that. That would not be good for me.
Yeah, we kind of take that stuff for granted, don't we? That we can get to a beach if we really want to, but not everyone has that ability.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have never seen the ocean. It's so weird to me. It's very foreign. That's like, huh? Like, dude, you gotta. So although I will say, like the first time I flew to Hawaii, it's very wild to fly over the ocean for that long and be able to look out the window and just see the ocean way down there. That's all you see.
Get some concept of its size.
Yeah, you're just flying.
Zuri, does that mean that you indeed live in the Byron Shire? I have a strange feeling that I probably know who Zuri Basara is, but I'm potentially being confused by weird names.
Yeah, I don't even know where I live anymore, dude. Space. I live in space, bro. It's legit though. It's legitimately space.
Yeah. We all do. GRB, Brazil has 2 seasons, soccer season and beach soccer season.
That's right. You get the buns out.
I like all of that nonsense with Olympic beach volleyball outfits. God. Everyone knows you can only play beach volleyball if your bloody butt's hanging out of your pants.
That's right. You gotta have your buns out. Sun's out, buns out.
Bonds and funds.
Where's the button for this over here? Oh, there it is. Okay, there we go. Sorry, was trying to grab a button here. A button. A button, you know.
Butt on you, sir. A butt on you.
Baton. Batons.
What button are you trying to locate?
I was trying to copy a link so I could send it to Victoria, the illustrious, my illustrious spouse. Where is
Corvus, what is that pic on the free behind you?
On the what?
On the frame behind you. I guess above the shrimp, sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's some stuff. You could get a print of that if you want. I don't know where the link is for it, though.
Is that you still sell stuff out of your dark arts thing?
No, this is a friend artist of mine.
Ah, okay.
Hold on, let me see if I can find. Hold on, I'll find a link. Give me you're gonna have to give me a second or two. I'll find a link. Let me click some buttons here. I'm gonna click these buttons. Oh, yeah. Copy.
I hope Zuri didn't leave. I needed closure on whether we actually know each other.
Who knows?
Well, Zuri obviously does.
Here we
That's
go.
why they've split.
Control V. Boom. There's a link. You can check out all of the art stuff behind you, and you can order sticker prints and stuff. You can order stickers of them. You can order prints and all sorts of jammers off of there.
Random uniformity. I do
But
love.
you could buy that one. There's 3 of them that I own, the originals, that you could buy copy prints or stickers. There's a space B one. There's that one back there, and then another one that's the saltwater one, and you could buy those if you want. And it's just a friend of mine that's an artist that made those for me, and they're in the background. They're mandalas, so cool stuff. Check it out or not. Do whatever you want. But yeah, instead of me trying to take it off the wall and bring it over here in front of the camera, you can just look at a high definition image of what it is and be like, I like that or I don't like that. And then we'll be like, word, you know? We'll be like, we respect your opinion just because respect, you know?
And Mel, if you're in the mood to look at some art, you can check out Scungy's art as well. We're contemplating doing an art auction real soon.
That's right. Check out Scungy's art also. Just buy all of it. You know, let's just be legit here. Just buy all of it, okay?
Well, I believe there is a hearty competition going on for who can generate the largest Scunge Princess art collection on the contiguous United States. Currently, there's 2 people, maybe 3 even, deep in competition to see who can get the most.
That's wild.
I think Bob Kaler's winning, though.
Really?
Bob Kaler, Ginger Graves, and Monica Lynn, I think, are our biggest collectors of Scungy art. And
all right.
I predict that they might be worth a hell of a lot more money than what they paid for them one day.
Well, there you go. You're just
It's
investing in your future, you know?
Trying to.
No, they are.
Even if it does involve shameless plugs and whatnot.
No, they are. They're investing in their future.
Right. Yes, I see what
Yeah.
you're saying.
The
Yes.
purchaser, the investor. What is that bird?
That is a Lewin's honey eater.
Every time.
Lewin.
Every time.
Yeah,
Every
he's
time
always
it's
here.
the Lewin's honey eater, and I like it.
Yeah,
I
he's
want one of
very
those
cool.
now.
They're good looking, and they can be what's the word? Inured to human contact, but they're not the type of bird that will come and eat out of your hand. Because they are primarily a honey eater and a small insect eater. But that means that they will not be interested in food from a large animal because they don't have the concept that this large animal might have something in its hand to feed me, whereas a magpie or a kookaburra, they're like, fuck yeah, I know this thing's got food, I'm going for it. Oh,
Yeah, this dude's got food. I'm in. Yeah.
now I got a magpies must be nesting because a crow or a raven perhaps was in my yard and a magpie came from like 150 meters away and swooped at it to hunt it out of my backyard.
Uh-oh. Nature is just going wild.
This is the absolute best time for birds at the moment because we've got an early spring because it's starting to warm up. Some birds have already got babies. And there's just so much bird activity going on. It's great. I keep having this flock of little red-browed finches. They come in about a group of about 20 or so, and they're always really fun. They're just tiny little things, but they bounce around the backyard. G'day, Aquamate. Scotty, Alien World Aquatics is here as well.
So many. There's so many of them just showing up out of the blue.
Yeah, Big D. I watched a video the other day with the shoe bill, and you can. Did you see that one where the dude communicates with it and stuff? He does all the movements and whatnot.
Oh, I don't know about all that.
I think it's bowing to it. You bow to it,
right,
and then
it bites your face off because it's giant.
It claps its beak together and just goes and makes this noise in the back of its throat as well. It's very
you heard
cool
what I
stuff.
said.
What did you say?
It's gonna bite your face off.
Well, is it going to bite your face off or just crush your face off?
Yeah, probably crush your face off. That's true.
Those
the headbutt
beaks look like a couple of cinder blocks smashing together.
Likely. Yeah, it's not a good. That bird is ridiculous. I don't even. What are those things? What do they do? What are they doing? You know what I mean? Like, what are they useful somehow?
They're a heron, aren't they? Aren't they a type of heron?
I think so. Something like that. I
So,
don't know.
yeah,
They just seem like a big pain in the ass. I don't know.
They
What are
must
they
have
doing?
they must have specialized in a certain prey or something during their evolution to develop a beak like that.
It's got to be some.
Maybe shellfish or something where they've got to smash them apart.
Yeah, maybe clams or something. Maybe
Yeah.
some kind of freshwater clammery. Getting those bivalves, maybe.
If you like your cassowaries, a friend of mine, Jason, he's got a YouTube channel called Australian Biotopes.
Yeah, that's a dope channel.
It's so good. Some of his videos are just mesmerizing. Actually,
I promoted him and got him over 1,000 subs, dude.
Yeah, I believe
I think he was at like 900 or something. And then,
I think I told him about that the day we did that.
Yeah.
and he was quite thankful.
That's nice.
Um,
Dude, it's all about getting people over that 1,000 hump, dude. It's like so hard. It's so hard to get over that 1,000, and then after that, you can start to kind of just dial, just keep rolling. But the first 1,000 is like it's impossible.
Yeah, I think I'm still in my early 700s. But yeah, with regard to the cassowaries,
sorry.
we did a video in Etty Bay, Etty, which is quite funny because my sister used to live at Etty Bay, and I've been to the that little beach area that he went to where he filmed the cassowaries and stuff, and yeah, cassowaries just wander around there all day long. And you just got to be careful when they've got their babies with you, because if you get too close to the babies, they will use their big claws and rip your guts out.
Really?
Yeah. They disembowel people.
Dude.
Okay,
hold on. What are we? Okay, I had like a
Cassowary.
misinterpretation of what you were talking about. What are they called?
Cassowary, Cassowary. Cassowary, related to the emu and the rhea and the ostrich.
Cassowaries. Oh, these guys. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense.
They're like a rainforest emu with a nice hat.
Yeah. That's not the bird I was thinking of. So, my bad. Yeah, I could see how these could get you. But I feel like you could just grab its head and it'd be screwed. You just grab it by the neck. But then again, I don't know. I've seen people be scared off by like Canadian geese, even though you don't know what Canadian geese are. Do you know what those are? You have them?
Yeah.
You don't have those. You have them down there?
Well, not the Canadian ones, but we have geese.
Yeah. You just have like a big ass goose and it'll freak people out, So maybe that's the power. Maybe that's the power it's got. It's like, first off, big bird, freak you out a little bit, and then it come at you with its scratchy feet.
Yeah, well, considering that their middle toe is like a foot long and the toenail on the end of it is like 2 inches long. Yeah, I don't want that going anywhere near my belly. Thank you.
Yeah, me neither. So don't scratch me with your big claws, okay?
Apparently, there's quite a few deaths in this country attributed to the cassowary.
Really?
I would imagine that the cassowary has probably killed more humans than the African shoebill has.
I'll just say if I'm down under, down under me gut, I'm gonna watch out for that damn bird.
Thankfully, they're very limited in their range, and they are basically far north Queensland to Cape York. So they're not everywhere. So they're another one of those Australian things that people think are just all over the place and a dastardly threat. But yeah, they're only a threat at a certain time of year and in a certain area.
Okay.
G'day, Ian.
How do they? How resistant are they to like a machete? A machete.
I would imagine if you put that machete in the right place, probably not very resistant at all.
Okay. So at least I kind of know what I'm.
As long as you go,
at least I kind of know what
I'm
getting into. You know what I mean?
You probably, I would imagine that even if you self-defense killed a cassowary, you probably entitle yourself to a rather large penalty from the government for killing a native animal.
Those ones are they pretty endangered? Is that what's up?
No, they're not endangered. But Australia has really, really interesting laws with regards to murdering native animals.
Like kangaroos?
Not interesting in a kangaroos.
Well,
a little bit different.
I mean, if this angry bird came at me, and it was attempting to disembowel my bowels that I try to keep inside my body, right?
Yeah,
and then in a whirling fit of self-defense, I decapitated this bird.
Yeah, they might let you off.
They might let me off.
You might want to let it scratch you one time first to prove that it was self-defense.
To get a bit roughed up, right? I want to let it rough me up just a little bit, All right. Well, I'm just
Yeah.
all I'm saying is I just would want to protect myself if I was deep in the down under and I was like, look, firearms are no good down there, but I know that you can have a big Crocodile Dundee knife, right?
Sure can. We all
Is that
carry them
legal?
around.
Is it legal down there to literally carry like a big ass knife with you? Is that cool?
No.
Like not in the city, right?
That is considered a concealed weapon. Even if you're a warehouse worker and you have a box cutter, that's considered a concealed weapon.
Well, like what? Just like a knife for cutting up cardboard and stuff?
Yeah. Unless you can justify to a police officer who has searched you and found an X-Acto knife or a Stanley knife, whatever you want to call them, in your pocket. If you can justify to them that you work at a warehouse or something, they will arrest you for a concealed weapon.
So like if I had this on me, right?
Yeah, you're done. You're booked, mate.
I'm going to the clink. I'm getting clinked up.
Well, you might not have to do time, but they'll confiscate your weapon and you'll get a record. But yeah,
I'm gonna go to the Crossbar Motel, huh? Is what you're saying?
The Crossbar Motel. I haven't heard that in a long time.
So so you can't just be carrying around a Crocodile Dundee knife. That's no good.
No, once you get outside the city limits and you're actually, doing outback shenanigans, you're probably entitled to.
So if you're in the bush, if you're just roaming about in the underbrush and like creeping around, they'd be like, okay, well that's fine. It's a bit wooded area,
Yeah, like
you're lurking around where the crocs live, you're down there swooping about.
My grandfather, he always had a knife on his belt because he was a farmer and lived off the land and stuff. And I'm almost 100% certain that when he went into town, he'd still wear his knife on his belt and not get in trouble for it. But those were different times, weren't they?
But he was like an old leathery dude, and he was like covered in like horse manure and like
Cassowary scratches.
Yeah, and bird scratches. He was all covered in bird scratches. They were more worried about him having the bird flu. They're like, does he have a virus? I don't know. He's got a blade. We'll take him down. We'll check him. We'll test him. We're gonna swab him, see if he's got the bird flu, and we're gonna confiscate his blade. We're taking his blade in. Was your Gramps like was he like a leathery sort of sun glazed character? Yeah. He sort of had that vibe.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, he was a cattle farmer.
My great grandpa had that vibe, dude. He like always was like sun baked, like regardless. It'd be like January 10th, at middle of there'd be 10 feet of snow on the ground outside, and he's somehow like sunburned, you know what I mean? Just like brown, sunburned, old leathery man, like, the hair's falling out of my body because it refuses to grow out of my leathery skin anymore, that kind of guy.
Yeah, very much so.
He's a weird lanky dude, like all lanky.
How the fuck do you survive into your 90s without getting skin cancer when you don't ever use sunscreen and you're out in the sun?
I don't know. I think they just ignore the melanoma. I think is what it is. They're just like whatever.
It develops. It evolves in you the ability to not rely on it,
or it just like it spreads out, and it's just pure melanoma at that point. Like that's what the leathery brownness is. It's just a full coating.
What's keeping him going.
It's the protective layer at that point. Like, well, if I die, the cancer dies. So,
and you don't want that.
It's like the parasite that refuses to kill the host, right? It's like Venom, It's like Venom. Yeah, we got to keep the host alive, otherwise you're just a pile of goo. I don't know.
The
What does
symbiosis is
Venom
real,
do when he
people.
doesn't have a host? What's that?
I said the symbiosis is real, people.
Right. The symbiote. That's right. Hey, man, are you excited for the new Venom, dude? The Carnage?
Yeah, shit, yeah. Venom was always one of my favorites.
It looks. I would say like the first one was the first Hardy Venom, right? His like it was like you really wanted to like it, but you kind of came out going like, I don't know, did I like it? To me, I really had that like, God, and then second viewing, it was kind of like, ooh, this is there's a lot of cheesiness in this, and I think it really could have delved into the darkness with like Tom Hardy, like that guy has like acting chops of the depths of hell. You know what I mean? Like that guy's already he could open up that emotional like pit of insanity, right? And it'd be like,
Yeah,
why didn't you explore that a little more? Like the whole time he was just like, huh, like, huh.
I think if he keeps working, he'll be an actor that people will talk about in the future as being one of the greats.
I think so. He has a real talent.
Hello, Mystery Snail Gardens, by the way, as well. Aquamate asks if Joel's Australian is getting better.
No, it's awful. It's fucking pitiful. My impersonations pretty much suck. I think I would have to take like some serious time to try and delve into like impersonating anybody, but yeah.
I think impressions are like the numbers on the scale. We like to think they're good, but they're not always that good.
I like to admit mine are not good, and then it's sort of like those guys that talk about how big their wang is, right? Those guys that constantly joke about how big their wang is, and I expect that like at some point in time some lady will probably see it and be like, yeah, I don't know, it's average.
Dude, I
right?
heard the stories, but I don't. The stories and the facts aren't adding up.
So you just downplay it, and then people are like pleasantly surprised that it's average.
Yeah, mine's tiny.
How's that personation? A god awful, and then they're like, well, I don't know, maybe he sounds like he's from somewhere.
Careful how you word that, Stephen.
I'm just over here like looking up some properties. I'm perusing the available properties in my area, and I realized that some people live a lifestyle that I just don't. I don't know. It doesn't look good. That's what I'm saying. Like as you're trying to sell this property, it doesn't look like it's ready for sale. Is what I mean.
It just looks like a pile of dirt or something.
Yeah, this is a real whole mess of garbage going on.
So we have completely the opposite thing going on here. Is that people are dressing up piles of turds as something fancy and getting a shit ton of money for it because of the stupid way our real estates are going at the moment. So you get these little tiny pump sheds in the back of the bush.
Oh, Venom!
People want $1 million for it.
Sorry, not to interrupt. Housing prices are they're screwed everywhere. They're fucked. They're fucked everywhere. Hard. Here also. But S had a topical question, and S is a member on my channel, so you get pushed to the top. Even here, when you're a member on my channel, you get pushed to the top. S is asking for clarification. Venom in Spider-Man? No, Venom is a standalone, and this next video, the next Venom 2, is going to be Carnage. And Carnage is played by none other than Woody Harrelson, and I am super excited for it because I saw the preview and just about was like, oh my god, this looks outrageous, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know. I feel like you and I are going to have some good films to talk about coming this
Yeah, over the
this
next
this
6 months.
upcoming season looks like, the next 3 months there's going to be some good stuff coming out, dude. And
Yeah, as long as they don't come out on Disney for $35.
yeah, I don't know how we're going to review them properly if they cost our whole week's earnings. You know what I'm saying? To just watch one of them. And I'm wondering if we should start doing I still think you and I should start doing a critical movie review. A critical movie review type
Like
video.
as a separate show or as part of this show?
As a separate show. We could do standalone videos that are like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes long, critiquing and ragging on the faults of these movies,
Yeah, I agree. That means I will probably have to start watching movies with a notepad, though.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
We'll just rip them,
guess
dude.
Essen-
You could do it with
essentially-
the dictaphone. You could make verbal notes onto your dictaphone.
Right. I got some closure on Zuri Basara.
Oh, you got text. You got like personal text.
Yeah. But I
Well,
don't
I don't know you, but I've got your phone number.
yeah, that makes me feel fine. But thankfully there's only one person I know that spells their name that way. And yeah, it's an old high school buddy of mine.
Nice. As they say. Ooh, S says the first video should be solo movie, obviously. Which I could easily take the you could take the pro and I could take the con. You could try to defend it whilst I lose my mind.
Yeah, I think if we dive too deep into solo, we might, become frenemies real quick. I think we're asking for trouble there. Primarily because I'd probably fall back on Omega becoming what's her name, and I'd just continually harp on that until it broke you.
That would never break me. I'd never break over that. Are you kidding me? You're just wrong though, but it's all right. You can be wrong. You're allowed to be wrong.
Oh, okay. I just choose not to be. Wait, if I share a link from chat, how come I can't just copy the fucking link? Oh, maybe I can. Let's keep working at this. Don't give up, Michael. Don't give up. Where did I type that link? Yeah, I've also had a message from Beast saying he won't be joining us today at this stage.
Yeah,
He had a rough,
it's actually
rough
coming
night
up.
last night.
We've come up on my bedtime.
We have. Crikey, it does creep around, doesn't it? See if I can put that there. See if that works. What else were we going to talk about before we pissed off the...
Who did we piss off? Did we piss somebody off?
No, before we piss off, as in before we depart.
Oh, before we piss off. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Did we have anything that we needed to specifically talk about this week? I don't know. We didn't have any Bad Batch episodes. I haven't watched any of the What If yet, so I don't even know what the hell's going on there.
I watched the first three, and I'm, like I've said many times in the past, it's not like I'm a huge comic fan or Marvel fan or anything, but I did find the stories quite interesting, and a really interesting take on the Marvel universe as well.
Yeah, all the What If books were all about like just here's a crazy premise, run with it kind of deal. What would this be like if? What would it be like if Batman had Superman's powers? And you're like, I don't know. What would that be like?
Probably really weird because it's not even in the Marvel universe. But yeah, it's a pretty good concept. And the fact that they smash them out, 22, 23-minute episodes again, you get through a lot of stuff in no time flat. Oh, look out. Hang on. I got to do some stuff first. Shit.
Uh-oh. What'd you do?
Buddy, just getting used to technology and stuff.
The Beast, what are you doing?
How you doing?
I thought you couldn't make it tonight. What happened?
I'm all good now. I had my Red Bull. I feel suitably
good.
woken up now.
Well, you're gonna have to take my spot because I gotta go to bed soon.
Okay. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you, brother. It's very nice to see you, as always. What were you gonna talk about? I know you're gonna bring some obscure thing that we haven't seen yet. What was it?
Me?
Yeah, come on, pressure's on.
Pressure.
We're already up to recommendations. What are you recommending to people this week?
Yeah.
Oh, man. What am I recommending? I've got nothing.
Uh-oh.
I watched some cool anime on Netflix last night. That was pretty fucking wild. About a kid who knows how to manipulate gravity as a superpower. So he can fly and wall run and do all this crazy stuff. And it's quite cosmic. Can't remember the name of it though. Wait, I'll put it on Netflix and I'll find out. Eden Zero.
Eden Zero.
Yeah, it's just getting started. So my suspect feeling is that they're kicking off to be kind of like the new Dragon Ball Z, which is pretty awesome. But I never got to watch Dragon Ball Z from the beginning because I didn't have access to it when I was a young teenager.
Right.
But this is, it's so fucking cosmic and so many great ideas. Like the idea of like how to suggest how someone could control actually being able to fly by manipulation of gravity is just such a novel concept. And just the ability to write for that, it's just so good. And it's got titties.
Always a bonus, I guess.
Big titty cartoon girls.
Is it live? Oh, it's cartoon girls. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna go like, is it live action? What's happening here? What's going on?
Paul only wants real boobs. He doesn't.
What do we got?
It's just
I'm just saying, I'm in a pretty serious relationship. I don't know if you guys know about it, but she was here earlier. But if there happens to be like accidental boobs in a show, then whoops. I seen some boobs. Whoops! I was just watching this show, guys. Come on now.
But if you know there's boobs there, you're asking for trouble. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm just saying, well, I'm not. It's not that I'm asking for trouble. It's just I may be like, I didn't know. Oops, seen some boobs.
Oops, I boobed it again.
I looked at them because they were in the show I happened to be watching.
I think we are also, as human beings, I think both males and females are preconditioned to look at boobs because we think a feed's coming.
I think we're all preconditioned for the got to look at the boobs thing for sure.
It's very natural.
Yeah. What's that? Oh, hey. Okay. Yep.
So lay off us feminists for all this boob talk. It's just natural.
It's not even boob talk. We're not. You know what? We're not even talking about boobs. I'm sorry.
No, we're talking about television that might potentially have boobs in it.
That's right. Accidentally.
I've got a boob story. Okay, so when I was about 2 years old, my mum took me to the beach, and she was just lying down, copping some sun, and I was playing with the sand. Mm-hmm. And I was at a beach in Sydney in the 80s, like 1986. And there was a topless woman about a meter or so away from my mum. And as a little baby, I innocently just went, crawl, 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 and latched onto the titty.
Whoa. Just
Brilliant.
just quickly. Just
You- and she squealed.
Now,
But that's what you get. Boobs around babies. No, that's what you're going to cop.
what
As
you
a
get.
footnote, do you remember what month of 1986 it was? Because the fact that you knew 1986 seemed very precise to me.
Yeah, because I was around two years old. So I was born in 1982. So actually 1984. I got that wrong. Yeah, thanks for calling me on that.
So not as fond a memory as I initially thought it must have been.
I don't remember shit. My mum just told me the story, and I went, "Yeah, my mum's not a liar. She's not going to make shit up." So, yeah.
Yeah,
was
she
my
wouldn't
first
make that
boob
up.
action. No.
That'd be a weird thing to make up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think your mum's that twisted.
No.
What else has been going on, Beast? Z-Beam? Whatever we call you nowadays?
Yeah, what do we call you now? Are you the Beast or are you Z-Beam?
I've always been Z-Beam. I just was mucking around when I first put Beast up, and then I realized there's lots of YouTubers calling themselves Beast, the Beast. I didn't want to step on their toes, so back to my old moniker of Z-Beam, which Michael made fun of the first time I put it up, so that's why I went the Beast. But yeah, Z-Beam has always been my internet handle and my graffiti tag that I do. So yeah.
Oh, now we know. Call the fuzz. Call the fuzz.
I've never sprayed it on any public property, so I've always kept it private.
Still, call the fuzz.
Yeah. So I've got Emma to agree. We've got a big fence out the front of our property.
Uh-huh.
And for years I've wanted it to be muralized and painted on. And it needs a job of paint. So I'm thinking of enlisting some graffiti artists to bomb the fuck out of my fence.
Yeah.
And because it's private property, I can go, yep, that's fine. Show me your design. I can approve it, and they can go for it and colorize the shit out of our fence.
Do you know any good ones? Because I know one that's a friend of one of my sons.
Yeah. No, I haven't got any.
Very talented.
I haven't got any good ideas yet. So yeah, I'd be keen to hook up with him, see some of his work.
I know some fantastic ones, but they're all in the United States.
Yeah, that'd be a bit hard. But yeah, the idea would be, eventually to work up to getting a Banksy piece put on one of the big brick walls that we've got inside the house. That'd be pretty fucking rad.
Yeah.
To have a multi-million-dollar artwork in the house.
Yeah, just get an original,
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. The weird thing is, like, if you... the weird thing would be is, like, if you actually knew Banksy, he would probably just get, or they I don't even know. They would probably just give you one,
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, yeah, here you go,
Yeah, I want it on the brickwork, though, make it permanent rather than on the canvas.
It's a good idea. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I'm looking... Okay, I was looking wrong.
I've got an American vape flavor that I put in last night, even though it's not Halloween, called pumpkin spiced latte.
Oh, pumpkin spice. That's full on American. That's gringo style right there.
American. Yeah. It's pretty tasty.
You guys do you even have pumpkins in Australia? Is that even a thing?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. It's one of
we
the
love
best
our
vegetables
pumpkin.
ever.
Oh, yeah.
Nice roasted piece last night.
Are you guys growing any melons? What are you doing? Any pumpkins?
Not this year.
No, I don't have any growing.
We got watermelons going. We got cantaloupes going. We got.
We used to.
We got pumpkins going.
We used to run pumpkin and watermelon vines out through the paddocks, but now that the paddocks are occupied by horses and cattle pretty much all year round,
right?
We don't have that freedom anymore.
Got it.
We used to have a fenced off section in the paddock, which we were allowed to do by the owner of the paddock, where we let the pumpkins and watermelons go nuts. But the cattle proceeded to rip down the fenced area. They didn't like it. They wanted to come to the fence proper.
Mm.
And yeah, so now we can't let anything grow out in the paddock lest it be destroyed.
Yeah,
It shall be eaten.
the cows want diversity of food.
Exactly.
They're so bored of grass. They'll go
Cows
anything.
are idiots.
I think they're really intelligent. They're cool.
I think you're wrong.
I've got them out the front of my place, and I went over to the fence and puffed some clouds, and one of the more adventurous cows came over and started smelling it and licking its nose and going, this is interesting. And the big one came over, and then by 5 minutes, I had about 10 cows all right up to the fence, smelling my vape clouds. It was quite enamorous. It was beautiful.
I saw a calf being born last week,
Yeah, sweet.
but
No
I
dramas?
didn't actually click at the time what I was seeing
Yeah.
until an hour later when I saw this feeble little animal climb to its feet and stumble around for a couple of seconds before it
isn't that
laid back
cute?
down. And then I've gone, oh, that's what I was saying when I rushed past before.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big brown sack flying around in the wind near that cow. It was actually coming out of the cow.
Oh,
And goodness me, when calves are born, they just look so tasty. I just want to slice them up straight away and eat them.
oh,
Oh my God.
it's a bit harsh.
I mean, by the time a cow is like 2 years old, it's like, you just look so bored with life. But a little calf, it just looks so excited to be alive and vibrant and stuff. You just want to find out what it tastes like.
No, I don't do the baby cow.
You could. It's something
No.
that you could do.
I don't do that. No, I let them grow up a bit. Like Wagyu.
Wow.
I get mad
Like
Wagyu
Wagyu.
from our local supermarket. It's beautiful to cook.
Man, I cooked up
so
3
you're-
T-bones
you're-
last night.
So your requirement is you have to get it from the supermarket.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. Or the
Oh,
butcher.
okay. So you can't cut the cow up yourself.
No, I don't think I'd be good at that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have family members in beef cattle and stuff, so
Mhm.
I've been exposed to the slaughter and processing
Yeah,
of cattle. So
We'll probably talk to John and see if we can't get a quarter cow again this year.
it's a good way to go.
Break it. What's that?
It's a good way to go.
Yeah.
Rani, hello. Too much Daisy and cows for you.
All right. I got to go to bed, guys. I got to get up at 3:30, so
Eesh.
Oh,
I got to dig
actually,
some holes and lay
before
some
you-
wire.
before you go, I do have one more recommendation. Unnatural Selection on Netflix. Fucking mind-blowing. All about
Brief
genetic
synopsis.
engineering. Genetic engineering and CRISPR and people self-experimenting and how a lot of the gene edits that people have made are they put the fluorescent gene in things, so what they call a gene drive. So
Right.
it means that once something's edited, it passes on the gene edit to its offspring.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of need black lights in the future to check for gene edited animals in the wild, to check for fluorescence, because it's out there now. They've gene edited mosquitoes, they're gene editing rats, they're going crazy. So
Fish.
Do you think,
Yeah,
do
fish.
you think you're so okay? I'm just gonna say okay because I got to go to bed.
okay, cool, man. Good night, Corvus.
I'm assuming that you fear that you're going to enter into a 19-minute discussion
Yeah.
of the pros and cons.
No, yeah, it's all good. I got to go to bed. I love you guys.
All right,
Be
dude.
good. I'll
Thank
talk to
you.
you next
too.
week.
See ya.
See you when we're looking at you. Smooth here. Right. So that's my friend Smooth Pursuit is Rani, I'm assuming.
But yeah, the gene edited fish sound fucking awesome.
The glowfish and whatnot. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Two Dougs saying glowfish. Yeah, that's some of them have been gene edited and some of them are apparently injected with a fluorescent dye or something.
Yeah, that's the cop out shit.
Yeah.
Poor things.
Yeah. But yeah, I've never been a fan of glowfish anyway because I'm just not into that color spectrum.
Right. I'd like to
give me more neutral tones.
Right. I'd like to do a program
nature-
of editing glow bugs. So instead of just the green ones, there's red ones and orange ones and blue ones. That'd be rad.
I listened to a podcast the other day on how fireflies or lightning bugs work. That was very interesting.
Did they talk about how there's the predatory ones as well?
Yeah.
And it's pretty weird that there's a normal species and then a cannibal species that is almost identical that lures randy males into their grasp and murders them.
Yeah, they went right into that. I can't remember if it was a stuff to blow your mind or stuff you should know episode, but both podcasts are definitely worth listening to.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they have some boring stuff on, but quite often it's very, very, very informative and well done stuff.
Mm. So did you hear about the male situation at the moment?
As in the post or MALE?
Yeah, the post.
No.
They've temporarily suspended all parcel deliveries because of how much activity is going on.
Interesting.
They got such a backlog of parcels coming into the country and interstate that they can't handle the volume.
Yeah, well, my parcel delivery guy quite often turns up on Sundays.
Wow.
Because his workload for the week becomes so much that he needs to spend Sunday as well delivering extra packages and whatnot.
Wow.
Which, I mean, is fine for the delivery driver, I guess, because they get paid per package.
Yeah.
Not based on how much time they do. So if he's got a few spare hours on a Sunday to spit some work out, then why not?
Yeah, for sure.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I got a few things incoming and I was wondering why they were taking so long. So, yeah, bit of a bummer. But anyway, I'll leave.
It's quite funny that I had a text message this morning saying, your delivery is on board for delivery. Click this link to confirm. And I've actually received any of my orders that I've done in the last few weeks.
Right.
It's like, wow, all of these scams are just becoming so dodgy and prolific.
Yeah.
I fear for the people that have no idea how to discern reality from nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't in my neighborhood, but he did get attacked by my dog the other day. And he's obviously a very, very experienced postman because he kicked the dog. and not much I could say because my dog went at him first, so he's only defending himself.
Did you hear about the protest yesterday in town?
In this town?
Yeah, in Mullum.
No.
So there's about 300 to 400 people all doing a silent protest. And the cops turned up and tried to tell them that they were being disorderly and to go home. And the group of them just all cracked up laughing in unison at the cops. And a friend of mine drove into town to quickly duck into the bottle shop and honked his horn a few times, toot, 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 to the group, and they'll raise their hands and went, yeah! And the cops were on foot, so they couldn't do shit. And when he was finished at the bottle shop, he drove past, and the cops were glaring at him, and he just honk and drove off. They couldn't do shit. But then someone reckons that they heard on the news that the cops reckon they fined every one of them for being disorderly. And everyone we know who was there just said, nah, they didn't fine us at all. They're fucking spinning shit to the media. It's fucking
Yeah.
load of
Well,
shit.
no, that I don't think that would be the police spinning shit to the media. I think that would just be the media spinning shit.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah, you're
g'day,
probably
BJ.
right.
You made it back, love. Well done.
Mrs. Palmer.
I think BJ's only got 2 daughters, though. She
Okay.
doesn't have 5. Maybe a son and a daughter. I'm a little bit sketchy on details.
Okay.
I used to work for a lady called Mrs. Palmer, and she only had 2 daughters as well. But she let me smoke her weed on the job. Well, that was okay.
Sweet deal.
The customers might not have thought so when they came in and I'd breathe on them and I stunk like a bong.
You. Rancid.
Hey, my second guest got it right. Oh, BJ's got a mic as well. And one of my best friends is a Kate. Serendipitous. How was the movie, BJ? I'm assuming you got through 1 by now. I think we've been going long enough for a movie and a half. But I also know it can be quite difficult to sit down through 2 entire animated features before you need to walk away and wash your hands, rinse your face off, have a good, hard, long look at yourself in the mirror. Animated movies often do that. I always enjoy, for some strange reason, looking at Z-Beam's roof. It seems to be quite a nice roof.
Sorry, I had a bit of a cough. Ugh.
Maybe I've got to find that a snot video for everyone to watch. Maybe I'll try and do that next week. I was mentioning earlier in the stream about a lovely video of a dude blowing a rather large booger out of his nose, and it made my reaction was it was quite full on. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. The interior beams. Interior beams always look nice. Why you got to cover them up with floating roof or whatever they call it?
Yeah, we need insulation, but I'm a bit like, I don't want to get rid of the beams. But yeah, it's kind of like an upside down boat.
Upside down boat. But yeah, anyway, how much stuff have you got to talk about? Because I'm busting for another wee. I need to go and do a wee. So we either close or I leave you to talk to people for a minute.
Yeah,
while
I'll
I
talk.
disappear, and then
For
we
sure.
come back.
Okay,
Righto.
go for it.
See what joyous stuff you can find in the chat or to tell the people about.
Oh, my fish are going pretty well. I put a pump in about a week and a half ago to clean up the water. Because I can't do a gravel clean because there's too many little babies like fry that are swordtails that are too small. I didn't want to suck them out and hurt them. So I ran the pump for about a week and the water got a lot clearer. And then I noticed that they were constantly having to swim because of the currents, that the flow was too high. So I turned off the pump a few days ago and they're so happy now. It's really good to see them thriving and going really well. But yeah, it's a bit sad that my adult population died off so savagely. But you know, the little ones have got to have room to grow. But yeah, sorry, I don't have the chat activated. I'll have to check out. Yeah, Here we go. I can check out the comments now. Hey, Sharpies. Yowie monsters. Yes, we're hairy Yowie monsters.
Sharpies. Long time no see, Johnny. Johnny. How are you, John? Welcome. Have you, with these few warm-ish kind of days, have you noticed any breeding behaviour in your fish?
Oh, the adult population is down to one adult female, so there's no
Right.
no action, and there's probably about 4 fry that are a good 1.5 centimeters. They were early ones from last season, and then all the ones from later in the season are still only about 1 centimeter big. So they're not doing the mating dance, but they are schooling up and swimming together in groups, which is pretty cool to see. So yeah, I think I'll prime the pump and run it, once a month for a week, just to pick up all the crap. But as soon as the power goes out, the pump just drains the valve.
Yeah.
I had to jimmy the valve to fit a hose in because the plastic pipe wouldn't fit on the bowl. It's meant for a tank. So yeah, it's a bit of a odd job, but it works.
I got some little, just tiny little box-size pumps.
Okay.
If you want to try one of them just to keep your water moving and stuff.
I
Don't do any filtration, really.
Yeah, I think I'll leave it for now. The pump that I've got is good. I can just manually get my hand in there and stir up all the crap, and then it cycles through the pump and cleans it up. So yeah, it's pretty nice. I put my hand in the water and pull it out. It smells so earthy and beautiful. Living water. Yeah, good living water. It's a bit of a green tinge. I know there's lots of microalgae going on in there and a lot of microbial life, which is good for the water. So yeah, I think if anything, I'll reseed it with some more wild water and see if I can get the microbial count up, because I know there's little fish that are, sub 1 centimeter. Their eyes are seeing quite small. They're seeing little things that they can snack on and stuff.
Have you contemplated potentially visiting a fish store and expanding your gene pool potentially?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think another male's on the cards. But yeah, it's really good to see some of the babies are really developing colour from the initial first 3 that I brought down from Ellie Beach 8 years ago. So yeah, one of the babies has some really nice, it looks like it's on fire. It looks like glowing coals. It's beautiful.
Wicked.
Nice bright orange red on its eyes and on its back with a background scale of black, which is gorgeous.
That's pretty impressive at those sizes too.
Yeah.
I noticed that when I was breeding the guppies and stuff, I noticed that you'd get some that would pretty much start to show colour from day one, and others you'd have to wait a month or so before they'd even get any kind of tinge of colour at all about them.
Yeah. Strong expressions. Oh, I miss my guppies, but the kingfisher smashed them. I think that was about 9 years ago before I got the swordtails. But yeah, the guppies, it was a drought, and the kingfisher found them and just went apeshit over a course of a week or so, and just came and fished them all out. But I was
I think when I get the tank behind me, not the waterfall and the creek, but the real actual tank that's behind me, when I get it going with prawns, I think I'm going to go with something probably more like a swordtail as an accompaniment, because the guppies they're too slow. They can get caught by the prawns too easy.
Yeah.
Once they got their big fins and whatnot, they're just easy targets.
Yeah, and they're showy. They stand out.
Yeah.
The swordtails have good instincts. They're pretty fast and swift. I've never had them take them
if they want to.
They can. They're very clever.
Righto. Well, we might call it quits, eh? I think I've got to go and get some stuff out of the deep freeze for dinner tonight.
No worries, man.
Yeah, I'm well, thank you, Sharpie. Well as can be expected, I suppose. apart from all these bugs in my face. I really have to move my worm farm. It's only like 3 meters away from me, so I'm just constantly barraged by soldier flies and fruit flies, even though I've got fruit fly traps out. Yeah. All right. Well, let's call it. We're not at 3 hours yet, but as if we want to do another 3-hour live stream. Thanks everyone for hanging out this long. If you've been here this long, as usual, you're a freaking lunatic. And thanks GRB and Zen Ginger, I believe, as well, for slinging some links for us. I even saw a link to Beast and Emma's crazy jewelry and stuff. Go back through, check out some links, buy some stuff. Ronnie's going on the line tonight. Nice. Fingers crossed we see you on the proper line, Rani. Hey. Things are almost complete there, though. That's right, Kevin. I think I always step on Kevin's toes because he always goes live after me. But generally, I think he allows me an hour before he goes live, and then just starts. So sometimes I go over Kevin anyway. But if you feel like it, go and check out Kevin's what's it called? Kevin's Canines and Aquatics. I believe Wednesday nights my time. Aquamate does a premiere video too, probably due in about 2.5-3 hours. Please go and check that out. Aquamate did pop in here before, but he didn't hang around long enough to pop up on screen and spruik his own video. But yeah, check out Aquamate's channel tonight for his premiere. I assume he's doing one, purely an assumption. I used to also promote Aqua Az's Wednesday Whoopsies, but I haven't spoken to Az for a little while, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on with Az. But by all means, look up Aqua Az and go and check out his channel as well. Another quality Australian dude doing the right stuff by fish down way down in Tasmania. But apart from that, I think I already said thanks for hanging out, but thanks for hanging out. And, swing on by next week for another heaping helping of wafty bloody nonsense. And we'll see yous when we are looking at yous.
See yous.
Bye for now.